The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
Ah!
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, January 22nd, 2024. This sports program starts now.
Football!
Is it? It's peak. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached championship week of the NFL. The AFC will be decided in a game in beautiful Baltimore, Maryland at M&T Bank Stadium, which was so loud and so raucous that it caused 5 false starts for a young upstart Houston Texans team who should be incredibly proud of the year that they had. But the Baltimore Ravens in front of that crowd showcased exactly what they've been all year, and that's dominant. They will host who? Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in the middle of a dynastic run. They thought this team was dead. A transition year from what they were to what they could be. Instead, they woke up in front of the Swifties, went to Buffalo, loved the electricity. Shout out to Bills Mafia.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And got their first road playoff game that wasn't a Super Bowl win as they travel to take on Lamar Jackson, who's going to win the MVP and in the NFC side. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
You got to go through Santa Clara, California, the home of the San Francisco 49ers, a place where it does rain. We have learned it does rain in abundance as they squeak by a Green Bay Packers team that certainly overachieved on the year. Congrats to the Green Bay Packers.
Good year, Packers. Good year.
And who's coming to town? Well, it isn't that same old sorry-ass Detroit Lions team.
Nope.
It isn't the same old Lions team that would give away a game maybe by kneeling before they should potentially supposed to kneel, and then the other team calls a timeout, and then they block a kick. Nonetheless, it is the brand new Lions heading over to Santa Clara to take on the San Francisco 49ers. The final 4 teams are left standing, trying to find their way to a Lombardi trophy, into a legacy in which there will be reunions and stories and a ring and a banner that you'll be able to call yours for the rest of your lives. 28 teams trying to figure out how the hell they could still be playing at this time next year, and it is lovely to be here chatting ball on this glorious Monday. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. First off, Con Man, great shirt today.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I was going to say this for the Super Bowl, but today's such a big day.
Championship week.
It's such an unbelievable weekend of football, too. Last weekend, kind of bummed because of all the blowouts. This weekend, unbelievable across the board. Sure, you can say the Ravens, but going into that second half, that was a legitimate ball game. And then to close, I mean, the Bills-Chiefs last night. T's and P's, the Bills Mafia. You said it. What an environment. Unbelievable. And the fact that they fall short, huge bummer.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of stats saying we can't be blaming Josh Allen for this.
Of course.
But yet again...
No, I'm agreeing with you.
That is not.
Well, who gets the blame? Who gets the blame when the team loses?
Yeah, it's always the head coach and the quarterback.
Yeah, boom.
But there's a bunch of stats that are like, hey, Josh Allen's potentially getting Kirk Cousins here. Because remember, Kirk Cousins couldn't win the big game, couldn't win in primetime. Then you look at his numbers, it's like this guy's QBR is like 110.4. His teams aren't able to win. Why aren't the Bills been able to win? Well, they've run into a dynasty. The next one, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, unconscious whenever the lights seem to be at their brightest. And for you, Ty Schmidt, Green Bay Packers, what a run. They happen to lose to the San Francisco 49ers team that everybody called a buzzsaw, including myself. And it seems like the San Francisco 49ers offense wasn't really clicking until they had to on the game-winning drive. Seemed to be a little bit out of sorts. You know, maybe the layoff gave them a little rust. Nonetheless, they get a win over your Packers team. Now I'm seeing that LaFleur's getting asked if he's willing to give up the play-calling duties. This had to be a year that you guys could have never expected. The Packers in the divisional round? Are you kidding me, pal?
Yeah, asking LaFleur to give up the play-calling duties seems rather moronic. He is an incredible play caller. I'd argue that, if you look at his head coaching pedigree, that's why he got hired, because he is a very good play caller. I don't know how to feel today. A little bittersweet. Over the weekend, like on Sunday, it was like, all right, whatever. It was a really fun season, but I was talking the entire time about, hey, it's house money going in. That was out the window after the first quarter.
When you guys were
they're up 3-0. Like San Francisco.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Exactly. They go in the red zone 3 times on their first 3 drives and only get 6 points out of it. Go for it. I mean, it was tough. I said it all year. Knew the kicking game was going to kind of rear its ugly head and bite him in the ass at some point. It did. But yeah, it's tough not to be pretty proud and excited for the future, just because. Same deal. I've been calling for Joe Barry's head the entire season, and the last 2 games in the playoffs, when it matters the most, like their defense was by far. I mean,
made Brock Purdy look bad.
Did enough to win both those
won,
games.
yeah.
Now, granted, and that's the part that stings the most is like they outplayed the 49ers for 55 to 58 minutes of that game and just couldn't quite get it done. You wonder if having that young of a roster, maybe a little bit more experience, you find a way to win that game. But all things considered, they were 10.5-point dogs going into that game. Everyone thought they were going to get their asses beat. I didn't know what to expect, and then it stinks when you're that close. Like that one, although the future is very bright and there's a lot to look forward to, I have a feeling that one's going to haunt me for a long time, because I really do believe if they win that game, like they're going to they would have beat the Lions or the Bucks. I feel that way in my heart of hearts. They know the Lions. I feel like if they win that game, they're going to the Super Bowl. But neither here nor there. Niners, great team, obviously. And
to be honest, if Colts beat the Texans last game of the year, I think they would have matched up well against this Baltimore team.
Yeah, everybody
Colts
beat them.
There's a lot of.
Yeah, they already
We
beat
can
them.
certainly do that. I appreciate your angle there. I think the Niners, though, probably win that game in the end. That's who the Niners are. I think the Niners remembered late who they are, more specifically Brock Purdy. The conversation about the weather was one that became real because there's videos. Brock Purdy obviously used a glove to start the game because of the rain, which I guess they got a new product that works well with water. I don't know.
Maybe.
I assume they.
Take it off.
It's weird.
Then he takes it off.
Yeah.
And then he's, there's a video of him wiping his hand off, and then there's a couple ducks, some ugly throws. So then he's asked about it after the game, and here's what Brock Purdy had to say.
Ball placement wasn't as precise as it normally is. Was the rain an issue for you? Did it impact you?
Yeah, early on, obviously I put on the glove for the first drive. It was coming down, and then it sprinkled, so I took it off. So I was still trying to sort of figure out what I wanted to do, and I was sort of fed up with the glove, so I just obviously was throwing like I normally do, and there was some times where I'm dropping back, balls a little wet from the grass, sort of affected some accuracy and stuff. But dude, that's football, so I got to be better in that area.
Boy, people were killing him on the internet. Everybody was waiting for Brock Purdy to have another one of these games so they could kill him. And the ball coming out inaccurate, a little bit ugly, and everything isn't normal. Brock Purdy is a machine with where he puts it. So we thought maybe the reason why he was Mr. Irrelevant last week because he must have small hands.
Yeah, that was the thought.
This guy must have tiny, small hands. That's why he can't handle the rain. His hand size is
9.25.
9.25 inches, which is the exact same size as
Patrick Mahomes.
So I guess it can work. Maybe his fingers are different, and maybe he'll just have to continue to figure it out. But it was obvious that the weather was affecting him in a negative fashion. I think it was potentially also the break. I think there was a chance that because that is such a tempo, timing, like kind of methodical offense, that there's a chance that they could have got a little bit out of sorts. And whenever they actually needed it there at the end, and obviously there's a couple little short ones, but then he starts opening up a little bit to Conley. Then he hits Jennings. Then he hits Ayuk on one. That's a sick ball. It's like whenever they needed it, they seem to find themselves. So I understand how the Packers fans feel like they could have won that. They certainly could have. I mean, you make that kick, it's a whole different ball game. Jordan Love on 1st and 10 makes a decision that Jordan Love hasn't made all year, that crossbody throw Brett Favre situation and turn it over. Nonetheless, Aaron Jones has a 50-some yard rush in the fourth quarter. You think that the Packers are going to win this game. But the Niners have been like this team, except for that Eagles game in the NFC Championship last year, where whenever they need it and got to have it, they do it. They prove that once again, but they're going to have to play a lot better against the Lions team than what they played against the Packers.
Yeah, some of it might have been rust, but also Ty mentioned that Joe Barry defense, like they came ready to play. Savage early on in the game had the opportunity for another pick six. Once again, obviously executing as a player, but as a coach, putting him in position to succeed. And they had more than enough chances, but like you said, the 49ers at some point are going to figure it out. Obviously, losing Deebo Samuel early, we'll see how that pans out, how that plays out.
We got Schefter in 22 minutes.
Yeah, so that's obviously a big injury. We've seen their numbers with him on the field and him not. But Brock Purdy, I'm still no big concerns about him. I think he's still a good quarterback, still got it all between the ears, knows where to go with the ball. Obviously, weather is going to impact games and impact throws for any quarterback, but he made the plays when it needed to be made.
The internet was loud on Brock Purdy.
Yeah, they were killing him. What happened? Well, luckily enough, his pregame fit kind of took away some from the Brock Purdy because some of the Brock Purdy fans were also taking a lot of heat as well.
Yeah, the Brock Purdy, I mean, that was one of the biggest tweets I've seen.
In a long time.
6,500 reposts is that's action.
Yeah.
We got live action, boss.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much the internet coming together to cheer for anybody but Brock Purdy.
Yes.
Is what they're saying. So the brand new Lions have a brand new set of fans on the internet that are looking for Brock Purdy check down ass to lose, I think, for the first time in a long time. He opens it up, though. I don't understand what the hate is on Brock Purdy. I think it's because he's just a basic-looking dude.
Yep.
He's a very average-looking dude. That guy looks like he could be my brother.
Yeah.
That guy looks like he could be working at the gas station.
He's tiny.
That guy looks like he should be working at a mall thing in the middle trying to sell me a cell phone.
Sure.
That is what that guy looks like. There's no reason he should be doing what he's doing. But he's different. And I think every quarterback that's good is going to have to deal with stuff and expectations, especially when you dress like this on a regular basis. That cowboy looks like he's ready to go do some light ranching out there. But the internet hates him, and I think they want to see him fail. And for those 3.5 quarters, it didn't look like Brock Purdy was playing Brock Purdy football. Then he found it at the end. Will he be able to do it against this brand new Lions team? Now, Foxy, I got a chance to experience that Lions game through your social media.
Hell yeah.
And Jared Goff, absolute stud.
Yep.
Congrats to Jared Goff.
Ballin'.
And congrats to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting incredibly hot, getting to the divisional round. But this quote from Dan Campbell talking about the city in which their team represents and how they've kind of why it works is a beautiful statement on why this Lions team is what it is. It's not just a team that has made it to the NFC Championship. What a pipe dream for Detroit fans.
Wow.
But it's a team that represents a city better than any team has in a long, long time. And a team that is very proud of that fact, too. They're not just fighting for themselves and paychecks. It's very clear that they're fighting for a city. And this quote here from Dan Campbell, I think, signifies that the most.
Well, I think it's important, right? You can't, I don't know if it's, it's not the first thing you think of if you go to L.A. or just in general, right? You got the sun, you got the beach, you got plenty of other things going on. And here, man, it's harsh winters, right? Auto industry, blue collar, things aren't always easy. And I just think that's, that's what we were about. And that was, you want something the city can be proud of. Though you can look at those guys and say, man, I can back that guy. I can back that team. I can resonate with those group of guys. They're kind of salty. They don't quit. They play hard. And so I feel like we've done that. And I think these guys, they have a kinship with this city in this area. And they love it, man.
That's beautiful. You hope for that everywhere. Foxy, you got to experience it live in person this past weekend. It seemed electrifying. Yeah. It seemed deafening in there. And it felt as if everything they've been trying to build has come to its peak. And you guys are it feels like you guys are all at your climax right now.
100%. Everything he just said, I could feel that in the building from beginning to end. No one sat down, and it was the loudest stadium I've ever been in, aside from when we had the ball. Then it was dead silent. The fans were so awesome. That's once in a lifetime. I will never forget that moment. You get those moments where you have chills the whole time. Then after the game, everyone's hugging. People are crying. I'm walking up the aisle, high-fiving, going nuts. I see this old guy. He has his hat in his mouth, and he's literally bawling his eyes out. It actually melted me. I got emotional multiple times during that game because the fans, all of us, genuinely, and I'm not just saying this, it felt like we were on the team there, and that's why MCDC saying that is just so perfect. And then after the game, we're all walking on the streets. You would have thought we won the Super Bowl. Everyone's honking horns. There's music playing. Everyone's chanting stuff. Everyone's going crazy. It was the coolest feeling in the world, and I'm so thankful I got to be there. Shout out for you for that. Shout out to SeatGeek. once in a lifetime, and I'm so happy.
Hopefully not once in a lifetime, but I love that you guys got to experience it.
It was so cool.
And
dude.
obviously 30-plus years of pent-up frustration with an organization to go to a game of this magnitude and end up being the winners has to feel absolutely glorious in there. And if you think about Aiden Hutchinson, because he'd been in the stands.
Yeah.
How old is he, 24, 25?
Yeah, right around there.
24. So he has never seen the Lions. He grew up a Lions fan. They're talking about him being in the stands as a kid, watching the Lions just suck.
Yes.
Just lose some
whole life.
And then after that game, him just like looking around, like this was a cool moment. I'm like, this guy's Evan Fox right now.
Yeah.
This dude is the same exact as Evan. And it's those types of like moments there where like Detroit Lions, they see one of them on the team, literally one of them. Now he's 6'6",
Right.
260 pounds.
Freak of nature.
He's not one of anybody.
No,
he is one of one, I think.
Yes,
but it is a feeling of like a college kind of relationship up there in Detroit.
Spot on. And just think about the University of Michigan. Hutch brought them back too, and people have been waiting so long for the University of Michigan to be good. He does that. He goes to Detroit, and now we're winning game like this. It's the most storybook thing you could ever think of. And Hutch being the guy, it makes it so much better.
He's damn good, too.
And this is an all-time moment, obviously, for Lions. So even you're just a fan of the game, period. Just see the Lions win, going to the NFC Championship is wild. But, like, watching the players and the coaches react to winning, it wasn't like a huge deal for them. Like, obviously, Hutch took it in. Golf was kind of cool, but it wasn't like like I feel like the Chiefs beating the Bills in Buffalo were more excited and more like running like they won a damn Super Bowl. But the Lions were kind of like, you can just look at them and how they reacted to that win. Like, they expected to go in there and win. They expected to be in the NFC Championship. They expected to really go and win the Super Bowl. So that's awesome to see that they actually got a chance to go do that.
Here's some stats from Hembo on the Lions. More specifically here, this one, Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson has 12 pressures this postseason. Nobody else has more than 8. Ooh. He has 10 pass rush wins. What does he signify? A win is the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Nobody else has more than 6. We'll talk to Cal Van Noy in the next hour. I'm assuming he's going to have an answer for that. 3 sacks. Nobody else has more than 2. Numbers say Lions can win in pass game outside the numbers versus San Francisco's defense. Green Bay ran it 9 times for 104 yards outside of the tackles against San Fran. 11.6 yards a pop. So big-time Decker-Sewell game potentially against this Niners defense. Ooh. And Gibbs and Laporta have 261 yards, 14 first downs, and 3 touchdowns in 2 playoff games. And Laporta's doing all this with a big thing on his knee. Where they reported that in the first game, he had no idea if his knee was going to be able to hold up. So he's making these cuts just like thinking it's going to drag at any given moment. The team is built. This Gibbs dude is electrifying.
So good.
Now, he's been explosive since college. Obviously, we all saw that. Draft night, whenever they draft him, 12 overall, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yep. A lot of the internet drafters, a lot of the people who have grades on people say, what a reach. They need running back to this position. Remember, nobody's paying anybody. Then here we are, divisional round. Who do you need? Well, Gibbs says, I'll take it to the crib, take the lead in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. He's pulled away. And then you look on the defensive side, everybody that they've drafted seemingly has fit exactly in. If we ever get a chance to talk to anybody in the Lions organization again, which is probably not the case, but if we do, I'm going to ask why, like, Penei Sewell was the first one. Like, what is the exact thing you're looking for whenever you're drafting a Lion? Is it just love ball? Because whenever you see Gibbs and how emotional he got after that game, it's like everybody in there shares the same mindset. Derek Barnes gave a speech after the game in the locker room when he got the only game ball. It took him 3 years to get a pick. 3 years for him to get this game-winning pick, which, once again, if Goff doesn't kneel it out the way he does, that game's potentially not over. Potentially not. Todd Bowles missed something there. We are all kind of people watching at home. I think the Lions fans, Todd Bowles, everybody was in the same, like, yeah, this thing's over. Tampa Bay has 1 timeout. Mm-hmm. There's 16 seconds left on the play clock right there. All right, we got 3rd down.
Golf missed something.
Oh, yeah. Jared Goff's just trying to get to 40 seconds. So, like, whenever people are kneeling it out and the other team has no timeouts, once it gets to 39 right here, game over, right? If the other team has no timeouts, because it's 40-second play clock. So they should be kneeling that at 39, 38, it's over. Some people, you watch them take it all the way down to 20 because the play clock's going down, and you immediately have to think to yourself, oh, you have no idea what's going on here. We're just trying to get this thing to 0. He does that, kneels at 38 seconds, which would be good. Right there. Boom, timeout. Todd Bowles could have used his timeout right there, 3rd and whatever. Todd Bowles was asked about this. He said, well, they were just going to kick a field goal, go up 11. Is that right? They were just going to kick a field goal? Badgley hit one sideways through the uprights earlier. I mean, maybe the Bucs block that and take that to the crib. I mean, there's a lot of football game left, but I appreciate that, That looks bad on everybody.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, no one noticed that in the stadium either. We were celebrating the whole time, had no clue until this morning.
Yeah. Watching it home, I think I got up to take a dump maybe. I think I was like, yep, all right, this one's over. This is sweet. And then I look on the internet and they're like, what is Todd Bowles doing? And I started looking, I'm like, rewind. Let me go back to this thing. I go back like 15 minutes back. Holy shit, what are they doing? Jared Goff was acting like they didn't have a timeout. MCDC Ben Johnson act like they don't have a timeout. Todd Bowles acting like he doesn't have a timeout. This game's over. That was not. No. That could have still been something. But nonetheless, the old days, the Lions, Todd Bowles calls a timeout right there immediately.
Yep.
Buccaneers block that thing. Vita Vea actually picks it up, runs it into the end zone for a touchdown. Then he put Vita Vea at fullback. He runs it in for 2. We got a tie ball game all of a sudden with 25 seconds left. So it's the brand new Lions getting like the benefit of failure here a little bit as opposed to what it had been for 30 years. So congratulations, even down in the final second.
And isn't it crazy how many times we reference the old days where something would have happened and this year it hasn't? Like even Baker Mayfield, 2 minutes left. They go down, they score, they tie the game. Like, no, we get a pick right away. There's been so many moments this season where it isn't the same old Lions. It is the brand new Lions. And I can feel that.
That was the same old Lions move.
I know, but it worked.
That was the same old Lions move.
It was.
One half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys
The reason why you went to the bathroom is because after they got the pick, we all looked at the clock. We saw the one timeout left. We said, okay, that's not enough time. But then, what was after first or second down? Goff snapped it with 16 seconds left or whatever. And we're like, oh, this changes everything.
Why are you doing that?
They didn't call that for the first down either. So
same old Lions.
It's kind of like everybody.
I think after they didn't call it after first down, the Lions kind of relaxed and they snapped it with 16 seconds left. But they
Todd Bowles calls timeout after that third down. Todd Bowles ultimately gotcha.
Exactly.
Like, we're taking our headset off. This one's over. Boom, boom, timeout. That's what I thought. MCDC. I mean, that could have happened.
Yeah, that's
100%.
genius. That's the strategy now. Like Todd Bowles just showed the rest of the league, hey, you only have one timeout left, and everyone thinks the game is over. Take your headset off.
Opossum.
Exactly. You're hugging your other guy.
Good year, boys.
Good to see you. Love this team so much, man. Bummer we couldn't get this win. Third down, snap with 40 seconds left. Still have the timeout. Boom!
Timeout! Gotcha!
Yes.
Gotcha, bitch!
Hey, and this is in the state of Michigan where years ago, Michigan versus Michigan State, only a couple seconds left, block punt, game over, walked it off. So everyone could have been thinking that way on a field goal for sure.
Shout out to the internet, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, because I would have never known that even happened.
Nope.
Because the math says this game's over.
Yep.
Everybody just do what you're supposed to do, and this game's over. And it turned out it almost wasn't. But I think that's a good sign for the Lions.
Yeah, I'd say
Everything's
so.
continuing to trend in a brand new direction. Now, same old direction for Buffalo Bills in playoffs.
Oh, man.
Now, Patrick Mahomes is obviously Patrick Mahomes. And Travis Kelce, guess who's back in the paint, baby?
Who's that?
All eyes on me, he said. And he gets 2 touchdowns in Buffalo with the most amount of audience that they've had all year. Now, obviously, he's wide open here, and this was beautifully crafted, and Travis Kelce throws it in his stand, said, take that. You throw snowball, I throw pigskin. Then he gets another one. Knee almost down.
It was close.
Knee almost down. But it's Travis Kelce gets in the end zone, obviously, good Ohio boy. And I think it's safe to say that the Kelce brothers owned Buffalo last year. Okay, Jason Kelce was obviously a phenomenal superstar in the crowd.
Wow.
I believe he was in the Taylor Swift suite, which was also the Mahomes suite, which was also the Kelce suite, which means that whole place was having a great time in Buffalo. Nobody was having a better time than this man.
Wow.
Congrats on retirement, Jason.
Yeah.
This video obviously followed the video of him out with Bill's Mafia drinking out of a bowling ball and walking through the parking lot in some Timbs and some sweats, having the time of his life, watching his brother do his thing. But immediately after the big Yeti yell after Travis Kelce's touchdown, he does some of the most athletic shit that I've seen in some time from any human in Tim's. Remember, he's like 285, 290 pounds. Has played 19 games. He's 36 years old. It's freezing cold. Doesn't even look down. He almost slips and falls right there.
Whoa.
Okay, that's almost busted head, instead freak
Superhero
athlete.
landing.
Let me save myself. Gives a dap up, finishes the beer, probably his first one, right? Probably his first beer. Look at explode right back up there. It goes up to that guy's shoulder. Look where it's on that guy's shoulder is how high that is. Doesn't bang his knee.
Nope.
Doesn't do it. Levitates his big ass back up into the suite, having the time of his life. Good for Chiefs fans having fun.
Yeah. Incredible.
Now, I will say, look at this. Look at this.
World-class athlete.
Boom.
Legit.
Explosion.
Fit.
It's It's January 21st. He's had a full season. He's 36 years old.
Yeah.
We see him on the field.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's got the knees and the ankles and everything literally after the career that he's had. And I assume he didn't have any Toro, but he had enough booze in him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he woke up this morning thinking to himself, oh, what happened?
Wow.
Kylie,
We must have won.
Kylie, why'd you let me do that? Why'd you let me do that? Why'd you let me jump out there? Boom! Up and over there. And I saw a couple people say any athlete could do that. I'm like, what? Okay, in Tim Sweats, hammered, drunk, 36 years old.
Yeah.
Very impressive. People hate the Chiefs, though.
Hate them.
They hate the Chiefs. I did not know this.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that this was the case. The Chiefs is the Chiefs, and we need to remember that the Chiefs is the Chiefs. But they are at the top of the mountain and have been. Mm-hmm. And anytime you're at the top of the mountain, obviously people throw rocks at things that shine. Shout out to Taylor Swift, who has joined them at the top of the mountain. You're going to get a lot of haters. I think what the Buffalo Bills have accomplished this year was phenomenal. I think they got hot at the right time. I think they played great football down the stretch. I think they were a fun team. We're very thankful for the Buffalo Bills joining us on this particular program. Both Mitch Morse, who James Cook was just cooking right up the middle of that Chiefs defense, and Mitch Morse moving his big-ass body, and he's electrifying. Jordan Poyer, big-time punch-out down near the end zone to cause a touchback.
Good rule.
Yeah.
Those are the rules.
What do we even
pipe down about it?
Honestly, I don't even know how that's become a thing.
Protect the ball.
Yeah,
Boom. You saw Kelsey.
This is a territorial football game. Okay, that's what football is. That's our end zone. Okay, we're going to keep you out of it. We're going to try to get to your end zone down there. When we can't, we'll try to gain territory. We'll punt it back to you. Now we're going to defend our turf. If our end zone ends up with the ball, guess what? Our ball. Mm-hmm. That is how this whole thing goes. You just got to be careful with the rock. Now, McCole Hardman had a tough one yesterday. They still get the win, so he lives to see another day. Good for him. MVS has a massive day. Yeah. But the Bills is the Bills. Congrats to the Bills. Tough ending for another season.
Yeah.
Very tough ending for another season.
At home.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like when Peyton had run in Tom Brady, Bill Belichick for all those years.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, like, Josh Allen's got to deal with Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, and Jason Kelce blacked out drunk in the crowd. I mean, there's a lot of things working against him all the time. Josh Allen's stats. Okay, let's get into this.
Yeah.
Josh Allen has been eliminated by Kansas City 3 times in the playoffs. 2020, 2021, and now 2023. In those 3 playoff runs, 306 yards per game, total offense, 22 touchdowns, 1 turnover.
Jesus.
What?
Not bad.
Over 3.
3 games.
So whenever I say like stats are saying it's not Josh Allen's fault, that's a Hembo stat saying it's not Josh Allen's fault. But for one reason or another, this Chiefs team continues to win and continues to do their thing. I know the Baltimore Ravens looked phenomenally dominant all year. They have been. They play a lot like the Michigan team.
Yeah.
They'll beat you up, and you look up at the scoreboard, all of a sudden it's a 2-score game, and it's like, you're not going to be able to get back 2 scores on this Baltimore Ravens team. The Chiefs, though, can they do it again after what you just saw them do yesterday and what you saw them do against the Dolphins 2 weeks ago?
I mean, it'll be back-to-back weeks now with Mahomes being an underdog in the playoffs, which is why I know coming into this game, couldn't pick up against Mahomes. I know the Bills, everything was rolling their way. Bills suffered some major injuries this year, and that's a part of the game. You saw even in this game, just guys just falling. It's tough, but can the Chiefs do it again? Absolutely. I mean, the defense, I jumped off the train a few weeks back, but that defense has been dominant all year. Mahomes is just going to be Mahomes. He's going to figure it out. Rashid Rice, he got banged up. He's kind of become that number 1 receiver. Travis Kelce's going to do what Travis Kelce does in the playoffs. Tooney being banged up on the O-line, that will be obviously a big injury to watch. I think Reed just said he had a pec. After, so probably dead at this point.
He actually grabbed his Andy Reid. He got pegged. Just in case you didn't know biology.
Got to be big. But Ravens, man, they are just so sound, especially on defense. Like on defense, like you see in these cold games, sometimes you can see some guys avoid some contact, maybe make some business decisions on defense. That Ravens defense, everybody wants to get their hat on you. Those linebackers up front, the secondary, Kyle Hamilton, I feel like at some point he's going to have that Kyle Hamilton game. And then Lamar Jackson, he's a mutant. Biddy MVP again, the MVP again this year. He's special, likely is special. Mark Andrews potentially coming back. Like, they're a weapon. I still got the Ravens, but it's going to be tough with that 3 points that Mahomes get right now.
Yeah, and I picked against the Ravens. I picked Texans plus 9.5.
Points.
You know, just because I thought Ravens win, but Texans are going to keep it within 10.
Sure.
After halftime, it just looked like 2 different games.
Yeah,
it was.
It looked like 2 different teams. And Lamar Jackson actually spoke about what happened at halftime. He was asked, like, hey, who was the one speaking at halftime? And this is what he had to say.
Who did most of the talking at halftime?
Excuse me.
A lot of cursing at halftime. It'd be inappropriate if I said it right here. It would. We wasn't really doing anything, to that defense. They was playing great, and that offense was playing great as well, but we wasn't doing our job with our unit. In second half, we went to put points on the board, start moving the ball, moving the chains, and start looking like ourselves.
Listen, they were doing great, okay? They're a good team. But also, we weren't. Him at halftime saying, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we?
He gets after his guys, too. You see it on the field. And obviously the guys respect him. The guys love him. You don't hear him talk a bunch in the media about what he says, but to see that, I mean, that's maturity.
That's leadership.
Yeah, that's leadership. That's maturity. We talk about it all the time, regardless if you're a rookie quarterback, a 10-year vet, like the guys are looking at you to lead that ship. Lamar's obviously been doing that. And it did adjust. At Texas, Miko Ryans, he was dialing up, bringing a bunch of pressures, and you assumed at some point they would adjust. And even early on in that game, C.J. Stroud's unbelievable. He was making unbelievable plays, but I felt like almost every big play they got against the Ravens defense, it was just like some special play, like roll out, throw it deep to Singletary. He makes some great catch. It wasn't like, I'm like, yeah, you can't, this game would get ugly at some point after that, but I took 9.5 too.
Yeah, and I had a lot of Ravens fans telling me, you still like Texans keep it close? I'm like, I'm watching the same game you are.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, I understand Lamar Jackson just had his 4th touchdown. Okay, I might have forgot that there's a chance that the Baltimore Ravens can be resting their players in the 4th quarter. That is what they've done multiple times this season. Nobody else has really had that opportunity. And the way this Monken offense with Lamar is only growing, and he never takes a big hit. This is what we're talking about. He just cut back. He didn't dive out of bounds, still gets extra yards, doesn't take a big hit. That is a trait, a talent, a thing that'll keep him, in the league for a very long time, when everybody was hoping that he would potentially, get hurt. That not everyone, the haters of Lamar were hoping he would get hurt. It's like he knows how to keep himself safe. And then this type of option, having this weapon here likely, is stupid. Remember, Mark Andrews is number 1 target. He's out.
Yep.
Well, they're going to replace him with Likely. Well, earlier in the game, Likely ran the same exact play against the same exact defense, and Lamar tried to fit it in between safety and corner. Likely goes, hey, we need the next, we're going on their head next time. You got it. Let's go. Boom, right over top of it. It's like that type of confidence and composure from Likely. This is his first year being a guy. Not first year in the league, obviously, but first year in the guy. Him and Lamar are on the same page. Same exact page. Brand new offense, remember, this year. Mark Andrews is about to get dropped back in there. Mark Andrews, Lamar have been on the same exact page since. Zay Flowers, explosive.
Man.
Everywhere. And dancing in a circle, with Harbaugh and the offensive line coach and the linebackers coach and everything like that. Great vibes Zay Flowers has brought to that team. Then you think about Odell Beckham Jr. Now, he had 1 catch for a big first down. It's like, if he can get it, they have everything you could possibly need to win this Super Bowl. Kyle Van Noy will join us in about an hour or so.
Let's go.
Hey.
Now, with that being said, the Chiefs.
They're inevitable.
And the Chiefs getting a chance to enjoy a road playoff game for the first time. And that was like kind of the overwhelming response. My source told me late night about 1 a.m. Via text, like, that was awesome. Like, that was an electrifying environment from the Chiefs locker room, saying like, hey, it was cool to play in a place like that. It was great to get a chance to go in and be the heel almost. Because remember, that offensive side of the ball at all the home playoff games, quiet.
Yeah.
So they get a chance to actually hear the drainage of noise. And if you're somebody that's uber competitive, like Patrick Mahomes is, Travis Kelce is, that's like a drug, that whole sucking the happiness out of an entire city at one moment. Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes hadn't got a chance to experience that really ever in the playoffs. And Patrick Mahomes' first thing he said after was, this is electrifying. This place is, they almost liked playing on the road more than playing at home. Now they get a chance to go into the bank. That is, that place, and I hate to be the sports media person that says, I've been saying this for weeks.
You have all year.
But I've been saying this for a long time.
Yeah.
Baltimore is the most underrated environment in the entire NFL. It's a blue-collar, shit-talking town. That's all you need to know. Anytime you're playing football in a blue-collar, shit-talking town, and their team's playing good, it's going to be a long day. Like, that is just how it's going to be. Now, if you punch them in the mouth early and you get their team out of it, then all that shit talking is going to go at the team. I paid $500 for these things. You can turn it. You can turn it. But if they're doing well, that is going to be a tough place. And Baltimore always has been. Every time I've been in there, just as somebody that's just an observer from the field, getting a chance to experience what everybody else experienced, it's like, oh, these particular folks know how to
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they know how to shit talk around here. And it's good.
They impacted the game.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Incredibly this weekend. And then, so Chiefs are dogs. Mahomes is 9-1-1 as a dog. And they're also on the road. Chiefs are 10-0-1 against the spread as dogs away from home since 2017. They've been pretty good in this spot. The Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs have been good in every spot. Let's be honest.
But the Chiefs love it. I think they just found out yesterday how much they love it.
Yes.
They're like, man, that was not that we need to do this again, but maybe not one seed.
Kind of love it.
You know, maybe get to play a little more football, get to do it. That seems to be the reaction. Now, joining us is a man who has inside information that nobody else has. Senior NFL insider for ESPN, friend of the program, Michigan man. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Gentlemen, what's going on?
Shefty, happy
Monday.
Hey, happy championship week.
Let's go.
We made it.
Hell yeah. Come on,
Big
Shefty.
week.
We did.
Good matchups.
It's in-person hiring day. It's championship week. Everything's coming to a head. I assume you're getting a piece of information right there. So,
Yeah, actually, I just did. Hold on a second. We actually just got a text. Hold on. Let's hold on.
Wow.
Hold on. Ready? Up. Second. Hold on. Here we go. Little something. And there we go.
Drafted tweet sent.
Texting to us?
There we go.
And?
Just tweet it?
The Jacksonville Jaguars hired Ryan Nielsen as their defensive coordinator, the former Falcons defensive coordinator.
Okay.
oh, congrats, Ryan.
Wow, let's go, Neil.
Congrats, Ryan. Way to go. Proud of you.
Like the Nielsen rating?
How about the Jags?
Wow.
Yeah.
Jags making plays. Remember, Doug Peterson cleared it out.
Yep.
Yes, he
Can't
did.
be doing this anymore. They ended bad.
Oh, yeah.
They ended bad. After Trevor Lawrence had that little concussion thing, seemingly vastly different than what they were going in. Still a buzzsaw capability. Got a brand new DC. Hey, way to go, Ryan.
Let's go, Nielsen.
All
He
right,
did a good job in Atlanta. He did a good job in Atlanta.
yeah, absolutely. That Atlanta team certainly fast, and he looks like that.
wow.
Okay, yeah, we like this guy. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
to see right
Is
there.
that Bradley Cooper?
Good hire.
Yeah, I'm thinking Doug Peterson knows what he's doing. All right.
He looks like Duval.
He certainly does.
He does.
And Jax, DeVille, and Ryan Nielsen are going to have plans in no time
Walking
to
on
get
with
that
open
city
arms.
popping off. All right, Schefter, let's go through some news from this past weekend. We'll start with the Chiefs, obviously, because they're heading into Baltimore. All-Pro guard Joe Thuney undergoing an MRI today. What are the thoughts on him, and what are the expectations you think as the week rolls on? Huge game. Obviously going to need Thuney if they're going to want to do something against that Baltimore defense.
Well, he's got that pec injury, and I think you hear that right away, and you say, that's not good for his availability. Now, they're doing testing today, doing an MRI. I don't know what time the MRI was, but in a best-case scenario, I think he's going to be challenged to play this weekend, and in a worst-case scenario, he's going to be out for the year. And either way, he's an incredible lineman. He has done an unbelievable job up there, and I would say the chances are that they're going to have to prepare for life without Joe Thuney, and we'll see how the tests come out with the MRI, but pec injury, offensive lineman, never a good combination.
Yeah, need the power.
Yep.
Need the power right here, obviously. Need the power. That's not good. Hey, Thuney, your pec and your brain and positive vibes are on our mind.
Good luck.
Good luck. Hell of a year if it is been it. If not, can't wait to see you come back. Other injury, obviously, everybody's keeping an eye on Deebo Samuel. He gets injured early in that game for the San Francisco 49ers. Changes a lot of the dynamics of the offense. Obviously, the stats without Deebo for this Niners team, not great, but also Trent Williams was out at the exact same time. What are we thinking for Deebo? We saw him walking, didn't we? We've seen him walking a couple times. What do we think for him?
Yeah. Well, he told people after the game he was okay. That was the exact phrase he used. Now, whether he's actually okay to play is an entirely different situation. And I was told this morning it's quote-unquote 50-50 whether he'll be able to go. And here's what I think is problematic about that. Even if Deebo Samuel is able to go on Sunday night in the NFC Championship game, you're talking about a shoulder injury. And the way that guy plays, he plays like a running back. He plays with power, force, brute strength. The guy's incredible. Like, he's constantly just crushing people with his shoulders and whatever it is. So, to me, he's compromised if he's out there. Now, there's so much on the line. You have to figure he's going to try to find a way to be back out there, but he's not going to be at full strength if he is able to play. That's problematic. At least the 49ers can prepare for it all week long. When you lose him last week, as soon as they did, I thought back to some of the conversations I had with people during the course of the season, and he hurt his shoulder against the Cleveland Browns, missed the next two games. They then had their bye week before he was able to come back at Jacksonville. And they were not the same offense without him. He is invaluable to what they do. He's their identity to a certain extent. And they can at least budget and plan as if he might not be there. but they need him out there on Sunday night.
Yeah, he's the first one off the bus. Him and Trent. You know, those are people that you would love to have on your team to set a tone. Feels like the Niners figured out who they were late in that game, but maybe the reason why they were trying to figure it out is because Debo wasn't available, which is a whole nother piece of the puzzle that hopefully they will have back as the Detroit Lions travel to Santa Clara.
They're rolling, right?
Huh?
They seem like, to me, the Lions do, like a team of destiny. Like Michigan wins the national championship. The Lions get to play at home in the playoffs. They win it. They go back again to play another game. It just feels like everything's coming up Detroit to me. That's how it feels like going to this game. And, you know, most people would say the Niners, #1 seed, would be the favorite. I don't know. Like this team to me just seems like it's rolling along and it's supposed to be here, and it's going to have a legitimate chance to win on Sunday. Yep, I'm right with you, Pat. I agree.
This is all the Lions have done, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
What were you guys to start his 0-10?
0-10, and then year 2 was 1-6. So it was tough, and it was loud for him and Goff.
And then from that moment on, almost, it's like, well, we know who we are, man.
Yep.
Trust it.
We know exactly who we want, and they got a team full of the same person in different positions. Just dogs, literally everywhere.
Yeah.
Even a punter just murders footballs all the time.
Everyone has a chip on their shoulder. Head coach, Jared Goff, and then Hutch, the chosen one, is leading us. So it's so perfect.
Well, and then Gibbs. I mean, Gibbs was told he was a terrible draft pick.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
DJ back.
that draft class is incredible, right? Like you, in the first couple of rounds, got a difference-making running back and tight end. They got difference-making defensive players. They were a good team, and that draft class, to me, elevated them and got them to the next level to where they're playing you.
Yeah, but Schefter, you told me that it was a bad draft, remember?
Should have taken Jalen Carter. That's what everyone said.
That's what you said. That's what you said, Schefter. I heard it come out of your mouth.
Yep.
You didn't have me on your show in April. There's no way I could have told you that.
Nah, we were watching. We saw you. We saw you. No, there was not you, but there was a lot of people that were draft experts. Hey, it's a reach. Why would you want this guy? It's like they're looking for a specific type of player, I think. And obviously everybody is bought in. Congrats to the brand new Lions. Let's stay in Michigan now. There was a clip that came out from Jim Harbaugh this weekend describing the situation at the University of Michigan. Go ahead and run it.
Oh, well, first off, congrats on the Natty Championship. How does it feel, and what have you been doing ever since that?
Oh, it's been incredible. Just back to work, getting ready for the next season. There's a passing of the torch that's awesome, and just incredible to be here today and see the testimony of so many that are here.
He was at he spoke at a conservative pro-life event, I believe, and at one point he said, "It's football weather" during his speech. Yeah. Jim Harbaugh remains Jim Harbaugh all the time. But there with the passing of the torch, is he talking about the Sharon Moore there? Decision made up. He is going to the NFL regardless. I know he has a second in-person interview with the Chargers this week. Where do we sit with the Harbaugh situation, and what did you hear from that clip there, Shefty?
What I heard is something different. And knowing Jim a little bit, he means, to me, the way I took it, and he could testify this himself, but he said passing of the torch. Like, I think he just means that it's a new team. Like, J.J. McCarthy's gone. Other guys are gone. I mean, he could mean that he's going to the NFL, but why would he say that in a random interview when he doesn't even know that yet? I think we all believe that there's a legitimate chance, a good chance he's going to wind up in the NFL.
Got it.
But the way that I heard that and took that, doesn't mean I'm right, is that passing the torch, new team, new guys. And yes, he could have been referring to himself. I don't think he was, but a lot of people obviously could take that any way they want. If they want to hear that he's passing the torch to Sharon Moore or whoever it is that Michigan hires, fine, you could take that way. I took it a different way, but with him, you never know.
All right, so I didn't even think of that way. You're right, certainly. J.J. McCarthy, new quarterback. A lot of this, Blake Corum gone. I mean, there's a lot of the guys. It would be a passing of the torch to the next generation for the team as well. I'm just so eager to hear that Jim Harbaugh's coming back to the league. Yeah. So I appreciate
look, I do think it's tracking that way. And I do think it's trending that way, right? And it seems like there's a lot of interest, not just from the Chargers, but from the Falcons. Right. And so I think there's a realistic chance he's going to wind up in the NFL. I think that's the belief of a lot of people. But right now, he's got to go through these interviews still. He's going to meet with the Chargers at some point this week. It'll be the second time that he meets with them. Everybody seems to think that is a match that makes a lot of sense from both sides' perspectives, which I think it does. And let's see if they can figure it out, bridge their differences. The Chargers have cast a wide net here with a lot of people. And it may just be that they settle it on Jim Harbaugh. It wouldn't be a surprise, but they're talking to a lot of different people as well.
Harbaugh going in there, because Justin Herbert, we think from what we've been told, kind of a quieter guy, good leader, everybody likes him. But could you imagine old Harbaugh coming back to the Bolts, leading the team, being the stern?
Yeah.
Hey, this is how we're doing it. So Herbert doesn't have to do it. Herbert still does his thing. He and Harbaugh would be an incredible tag team, I think we all think, from outside looking in. I did not remember Harbaugh on the Chargers. Boy, he used to spin it. He has ties to every team that currently has a coaching search going on. You're getting info right now.
Well, the info I gave to you. I just had a moment while you were talking to tweet it. That's all.
Oh, sick. Hey, we appreciate that, dude. All right, Connor has a question for you, Schefter.
Yeah, Schefter, obviously last night after the Bills lost, Buffalo and Bills Mafia in general were kind of, in a little tizzy, if you will. And you just mentioned Harbaugh to the Falcons, him getting another interview. Is there any world we live in, because a lot of Bills Mafia, you could say might be a little out on Sean McDermott. Is there any world where the Bills say, you know what, because there is Belichick, Carroll, Vrabel, a few other guys, we maybe try and bring one of these guys in? Because a lot of people, including myself, believe that if Bill Belichick was the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, they'd probably win 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Super Bowls.
I understand that feeling, and I think whenever any of these good teams lose, this question comes up. It came up in Dallas. It came up in Philadelphia. You're raising it here about Buffalo, and they have stood squarely behind Sean McDermott at times when people thought that they could be making a change. When there was the article from Ty Dunn earlier this year with his comments related to 9/11 that were obviously hard to describe, hard to stomach. There were people at that time that thought they could make a change that week, and they didn't. They never vacillated. They stood right behind him the entire time. So when they lose a game like this at home in a year where there are so many factors, I'm sure there are going to be people out there asking that question.
A lot of them.
But
Rex Ryan said it this morning. We're working out this morning in the Hawk House.
Yep.
And I see Rex Ryan says Bill should hire Bill Belichick. And in my head, I was like, oh, my God, could you imagine?
They should.
Could you,
great.
I mean, we love McDermott over here, and obviously the hit piece that outlined some things that potentially that did take place within the Bills organization with him at the helm, not great. But McDermott, I feel like, has been a steady voice up there for a long time. They've had a lot of faith in him. Brandon Beane, after that hit piece comes out and said he's our coach pretty much. A lot of support from that. But as we get in this fantasy land of Bill Belichick calling the shots in places, it's like, defense has a veteran-led defense.
For sure.
That's very good. Offensively, you got a quarterback that can do whatever.
A receiver.
You got a stud tight end all of a sudden.
Running back.
You got an offensive line that's been, it's like
gritty.
Bill Belichick comes in there and starts doing his thing. That would be bananas. Patriots fans would be furious.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about this. Like, if Bill were to go to Buffalo, I think Tom Brady benefits the most because everyone would forgive Brady in an instant and turn that.
At least he didn't go to
Exactly. At least he didn't go to the Jets or the Bills. That would be.
He did try to get to Miami allegedly.
Bingo. That would be madness if that were to happen.
Ty has a question for you, Schefter. Go ahead.
You could do the Bill exercise, here or there, anywhere with every team. We've been doing it, and we seem more enthused than the teams have so far because the only team that he's spoken to so far, to my knowledge, is the Falcons. And so, while we wondered about Dallas, we wondered about Philly, we wondered about Buffalo, you wonder about Buffalo. Like, you could do that exercise for a lot of teams because he is the greatest coach of all time. He belongs somewhere. So it's a little strange. Like when Tom Brady was a free agent quarterback, there might have been more, but I believe there were only 2 teams, 2 of 32
Chargers,
that
Tampa?
were interested in the Chargers in Tampa. That was it. Like, why would more teams not have been interested? And I think to me, it's almost repeating itself with Bill as a head coach here. Why would there not be more teams that are interested in Bill Belichick? Like, here's this guy on the sideline.
What is
it's just odd to me. It was odd with Brady.
Yes.
It's odd with Belichick.
Schefter, very odd with Brady because we had the show, obviously, it was only on the internet then, a little small, tiny little program, regional operation at the time. But as soon as we heard Tom Brady was a free agent, said, Everybody wants Tom in the building because it's not just the football team that gets better. The equipment managers get better. The athletic trainers get better. The video crew gets better. The salespeople get better. Everybody gets better because they know if we don't win, it's probably my fault as opposed to Tom Brady's fault. He elevates everybody's, the coaches, everybody.
Look what he did in Tampa. Look what he did in Tampa when he got there.
Well, bingo.
Right?
So you would think that with Bill Belichick too. Like, hey, as soon as he gets in the building, everybody's going to get better. Everybody is going to elevate their game because you know, hey, this guy should win it. We can win it. It's on me if we don't. It doesn't make any sense. Didn't make sense whenever they said nobody's interested in Tom Brady. Everybody's calling me just Mark. Everybody, you Mark. You have no idea what you're talking about. Nobody's interested. And then for the Bill Belichick thing, if no teams are interested in Bill Belichick after everything we've done on this show, we're going to look like doofuses, Shefty. Absolute doofuses.
No, the Falcons are interested, but the Falcons have this open search. Like, there's a lot of people, and maybe in the end it comes up on Bill, but maybe it doesn't. We don't know how it's going to work out. But so far, like, that's the only team that I can tell that has engaged in heavy conversation. They've met with him twice. We know that, right? There might be more talking to him, but we don't know of anybody just yet.
Is it his age? Is that it?
Ageism.
Again, I guess I would go back to the Brady argument. I didn't understand it then, and I don't understand it now. I didn't.
Same.
I felt like there were more teams that should have been interested in Brady, and there should be more teams that are interested in Bill. And right now, there aren't, just like there weren't with Tom. It's like, that's crazy to me, but that's the reality.
To be clear, Tom Brady won a Super Bowl.
Yes, he did.
And sold the stadium out
in the first year,
and changed the whole business of the entire city, pretty much. In about 3 months.
Added sections to the actual city
because Tom Brady came to town.
But a lot of people thought he was done and washed in New England, and they may think the same thing with Bill. They may think, maybe his time has passed. Maybe he can't come to a new organization with, how different things are and build that culture again. Like, he's not going to be there 10 years. 5 years, not a long plan. It's kind of like a 2-3 year thing, I would think, at this point, being 72. So
you watch
it's not shocking.
Needs 15 more wins.
Why wouldn't you at least talk to him?
Yeah, this is like the Lamar Jackson thing when everybody was like, we're not interested. We're not interested.
Yeah, but it reminds me of that. That's exactly right. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
All these now, with Lamar, he had 2 seasons in a row where he didn't finish the season due to injury, and there were people that were worried about his health, his eating, whatever it is, okay? But the fact of the matter is, nobody out there made a compelling offer sheet. Like, nobody tried to make life uncomfortable. I had John Harbaugh on my podcast last week. I asked him, he was like laughing. He's like, well, we're very grateful that nobody else went after him because we always saw him here. And everybody says, well, the Ravens would have matched. Well, yeah, they plan to, but how about somebody who comes up with an offer sheet that makes it really hard for them to match? How about somebody that basically partners up to Lamar and says, Lamar, we want you, and we're going to pay you so much money that we're going to make it really hard for Baltimore to match, and we want you here, and you don't want to be there. And Lamar was the one that did request a trade from there, so there was some bad feelings at one point in time where he might have been willing to force the issue at one point in time. That window closed when they got together a month or so later to do a deal. So, yes, limited interest in Tom Brady, next to no interest in Lamar Jackson, limited interest in Bill Belichick. Like, sometimes teams don't always make the right calls.
Yeah,
that happens.
I'd say. Yeah, and then Harbaugh, by the way, publicly put leverage into Lamar Jackson's camp.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Harbaugh always on the Lamar Jackson side, which is why I think that locker room was able to remain so tight through the business stuff that was potentially happening, because anytime Harbaugh could get on a microphone, he's like, Lamar Jackson's my quarterback. Lamar Jackson's our quarterback. There's nobody like Lamar Jackson. What was happening business-wise behind the scenes, though, felt like it was not kind of radiating the same point. Is that true, or is that revisionist history that I'm having here?
Well, I think back to the whole situation, and I find it to be fascinating and maddening all at once, because, again, right when Lamar was franchise tagged, like, there were all these reports from across the country about team not interested. And so we could just go back and look at all the teams that were in, and all the teams that weren't interested, that passed on the chance to get Lamar. Basically, Washington, they fired their coach. Atlanta, they fired their coach. We go to Carolina, they fired their coach. Las Vegas, they fired their coach.
Damn.
Like, all these teams, they wound up firing their coach. So if one of these coaches would have made a play and made life difficult for Baltimore. See, I just come back to that. Everybody says Baltimore would have matched. And I say I've seen enough situations over time where a team made life uncomfortable for another team. But the problem was
$230 million guaranteed is what Haslam just did to Atlanta and New Orleans.
Exactly.
For Deshaun Watson.
Okay, they guaranteed $230 for Deshaun. Okay. Well, he wanted out of Houston anyway. Cleveland got it done. If you wanted it bad enough, you went to Lamar and you would say, Lamar, we're going to guarantee all $250. Yeah. All $250.
And you got a 5 years. I mean, no problem at all. And you would have Lamar Jackson.
By the way, somebody just texted me. Look, one of my favorite parts of doing the show is how many people are watching and how many cool people text thoughts.
Nobody watches
across the league. So one person just texted me. I'm just going to read the exact text. More interest in Deshaun Watson than Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and Lamar Jackson. That's insane.
Yeah. I'd say.
Absurd.
Yeah, it certainly is. Hey, Mulligetta. Mulligetta. He is a dog, dude. Yeah, Mike Vrabel, too. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. Vrabel interviewed where? Atlanta? Commanders?
Chargers?
Vrabel? He's interviewed with the Chargers and the Falcons so far.
It's crazy. All right, let's get back to the Ravens, though. And we only have that Lamar conversation because obviously we watch them and how great they are and how great he is. And that offense that he and even who's buddy that just got traded to the Cardinals, wide receiver?
Hollywood Brown.
Marquise Brown. Hollywood?
They've been, like, for 2-3 years, they're like, hey, can we get an offense like everybody else has? Can we get one where we use the dogs? Do you remember that? I think that was
soldiers.
actually Hollywood Brown. Why do you have soldiers you don't even use them?
Yep.
Use them. I think there was even like a little bit of ad-lib in there at the end. And now with the new offense with Monken, it's like he's dealing. Absolutely dealing. The offense is incredible. And he was available potentially for anybody. Let's talk about that team, though. D-But's got a question for you, Schefter.
Yeah, speaking of somebody being available for those Ravens, Mark Andrews heard that it's trending in the direction that he'll be up for the AFC Championship. Is that true for him? And Marlon Humphrey, what's the injury news there with those two guys?
With Andrews, last week I was told, wasn't going to make it back for the divisional playoff game. They thought he had a realistic chance to be back for the AFC Championship game. So I think depending on how the week of practice goes, they're looking at the strong possibility that he'll be back. They want to see how the week goes, but I think there's a real possibility that Mark Andrews is added to the roster and can play in the AFC Championship game on Sunday. Marlon Humphrey, he was ruled out early in the week last week, Darius.
Yep.
And so I hadn't checked on him this week. But that one I would imagine is going to go down towards the wire, and we'll see how that one fares. But he was ruled out, Thursday last week? Thursday. So he's got some progress that he has to make before he can make it back for the conference championship.
We got a minute before the hard out here. Any news coming down the pipe? What do you think?
Well, I just think you're seeing today a lot of second interviews. It's been a very slow hiring process for head coaches because teams now are getting to meet face-to-face. So you're seeing Dan Quinn getting called back and Raheem Morris getting called back and Jim Harbaugh getting called back. A lot of second interviews, but nobody seems to be rushing to get one of these head coaching jobs done. So it's the slowest process that the NFL has ever had, which is exactly what the league wanted. It wanted to slow it down. It wanted teams to take their time. It wanted them to interview a wide pool of candidates. That's exactly what's happened this year.
And draw up the attention and the drama.
Smart.
Which we will follow your account for. Ladies and gentlemen, senior NFL insider for ESPN, Adam Schefter. Thank you, buddy.
Hey.
How about the passing of the torch being the team?
Yeah, very interesting.
As soon as I saw it, I'm like, he's gone. He just said it at the rally.
Yeah.
March.
Could have been, yeah.
Both.
Hour 2 on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. We'll see you then.
He's saying don't go off the top. It's too shallow.
See that belt buckle?
All you're going to hear this stadium do is they put the big paw up. They start shaking it. They go, whoa. Yeah, he loves the defensive side of the ball. He said yesterday to me that this is a blue-collar team. They win it on special teams. They have 5 block kicks this season. The defensive side of the ball, Lynch leads the Big 12 in sacks. But also on the offensive side, Denzel Mims is an absolute animal. He is a weapon. Charlie Brewer, the quarterback from Lake Travis. His dad was a quarterback in Texas. Yeah. His grandpa was a quarterback in Texas. And the people here in Waco just so happen to get a chance to see Charlie Brewer on a daily basis. Hey. Boomer here is going to mean a little bit different than what it means on the internet currently. And hopefully here in Baylor, they hope they're not hearing a lot of Boomer sooner. Everybody wants to be a punter, including quarterbacks. If I was a quarterback, I'd want to be a punter as well. 0 yards on that punt. That's an embarrassing situation. The Dak dance that gets on national television has led to a lot of losses, but you got to respect the hips being able to
What sign am I going to make for college game day? Well, I want to make something creative. I want to make something fun. No, to hell with it. I don't like OU. It's so thick. Look how thick that thing is. That's years and years of patience. You're headed right for the boat. Right now? Okay, let's do it.
We are out here on the Brazos River, which you can take a boat to the game. One of the only stadiums in the country that you can do that. It's beautiful out here. A lot of people would say, this is the last time I'm going to be on game day. The last time I allegedly did what I'm about to do, I ended up in a jail cell. Let's go!
The poop kickers are getting a little wet down here. A lot higher than I thought.
You look like Ric Flair.
It was like 5 feet. I was standing there. That's full commitment, by the way.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey. Why? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. Ah! The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport!
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, January 22nd, 2024. Hour 2 starts now. Football! Shout out to Verizon, obviously being on board on this glorious Championship Monday as we look ahead to Championship Weekend, where the champions of the AFC will either be the Baltimore Ravens or the Kansas City Chiefs, and the champions of the NFC will be either the San Francisco 49ers or the brand new Lions. It is a great time to be alive. We can't thank you enough for joining us on this glorious day. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Just want to give you guys a heads up.
What's that?
Chuck, dog.
Yeah?
Down 2 pounds this month.
Okay! That's great news!
You guys been saying a lot of stuff about that dog.
What's he at right now? 555?
Whatever it is, it's 2 pounds less than what it was 1 month ago. We have the fattest, biggest corgi on earth in my house living. He's an independent asshole of an operation. He was the fattest corgi documented to ever be documented on earth. His gut would hit the ground as he walks, but now guy's got a little bit of movement. You can see his little joints underneath his gut. So congrats to Chuck. And you guys need to cut it with the Fat Chuck stuff.
I will. New year, new Chuck.
Well, wait, is the fat shaming working?
Yeah, it kind of
is. That's not a lie. That's from 8 years ago. That is not a new photo. I don't believe that for a second.
That was when, it's a couple houses ago. Yeah, that was when Chuck.
That's what I thought.
That was when Chuck was a little puppy baby. But anyways, that's normal size of adult corgi. That's puppy corgi right there, Chuck.
Imagine
and that's what he's getting back to right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's that right now. It's that times 4 in the same body is what
I
Chuck
know what's
is.
going on.
That is true. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys Town Diggs is here.
You know when you have to take your newborn or young baby to the doctors and you have to put them into a dry diaper to weigh them? Basically, Chuck last time before a poop. This time got weighed after a shit. So
He,
now
he
it's down.
could take 2-pound dumps. He's been doing them in the house because the weather's too cold outside.
Again?
Yeah, I hate this. I love the dog.
Pooping indoors.
But I hate a lot of the traits that this dog has. It's getting thinner, though. That's good news. 9-year NFL vet is here, Dave State Butler.
Yeah,
D-Bus, you ever run in it? Yeah, you've had a couple run-ins with Chuck, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Chuck will take your legs out, too. Yeah, he's not scared to do that.
Glad you're giving him dog Zempic. It's about time.
Well, I hope he's getting some semi-glue dog. That'd be great. Joining us now is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, who are seemingly back. Ladies and gentlemen, A.J. Hawk. Hawker, how you doing, pal? Chuck's losing weight. Life is beautiful. It's championship week.
Congrats to Chuck. I didn't know he had a new lifestyle plan on how he was attacking his nutrition. So, yes, congrats to Chuck. I would say this is long overdue, probably.
Yeah.
Screen just went completely black.
What happened?
I don't know if you saw that. There it is,
I did.
back. Is that going to go black again?
No, it shouldn't. We know what happened. It shouldn't happen again.
Oh, okay. Boys in the back are here. Fox, CD, baby, Gumps, Nick, Bruce, Dirty. We appreciate that. AJ, let's dive into the weekend that was the divisional round. Your Green Bay Packers made it there, which I don't think any of us would have expected. Weeks 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't even think into 16 with this brand new quarterback, young team. They go and give the Niners some real problems. What are your thoughts on the game, and how do you feel about the Packers season as a whole now that it's finished?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously there's no moral victories or whatever, but I feel like anyone that watched that game knows the Packers played well enough to find a way to get a win. Obviously they didn't do it. The Niners, they're a great team. Their defense flies around, man. There's Greenlaw, both of his picks, the guy is awesome. Him and Fred Warner just coming up smacking people all day. Even though the Packers were able to run the ball, Aaron Jones brings a ton of juice. It was a great game. Unfortunate, very frustrating for Packers fans, I think, but they have to be like, all right, we're set up for the next 10 years to be a really, really good football team.
Okay, let's talk about the Niners now. Brock Purdy obviously was not the perfect Brock Purdy that we've come accustomed to. Now, Deebo Samuel out of that game a little bit early. Whenever they needed it, they got it. In the game-winning drive from that team, Christian McCaffrey's always going to be Christian McCaffrey. It feels like George Kittle's always going to be George Kittle. Brock Purdy built for the moment. Do you think he had to get some rust off? What do you think happened against his Packers defense early?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a combination of not only the Packers defense playing very well, the weather conditions we all have seen and talked about, Brock wiping his hand off in the middle of a drop back on a shotgun snap. But, I mean, I think, it's partly, I always wonder, how do you come back from having a couple weeks where you're not really playing when you're the number one seed like they were? It's just sometimes it's weird to kind of get back into rhythm, and it took them a while. But when they needed it, I mean, there it is. We got it. Christian McCaffrey obviously is a monster, but that's what great teams do. When you need a play, when you need a drive, they find a way to make it happen.
And do you think they'll be able to do this against the brand new Lions, who seemingly doing the same exact thing? Same old Lions, normally the big plays being made against them at the end for them to lose. Brand new Lions, they're the ones making the plays. Massive pick of Baker Mayfield here by Derek Barnes. First pick in his 3-year career. After the game, he was given a game ball. He actually said, this is for the whole linebacker room, which I believe is led by Kelvin Shepard, former teammate of ours. Absolute dog of a human being. So they're all in. They're playing their best football. They've been buzzing and humming for the last few weeks where the Niners have not been playing. How do you think this matchup goes?
I think it's going to be a fun matchup. I mean, if San Francisco would have went out and just throttled the Packers, don't you think people would have said, all right, I don't know what the line is yet. What is the line right now?
6.5.
For Niners?
6.5.
Okay. If the Niners would have just throttled the Packers, would that line be 9.5, 10 by now, do you think?
I think so. I think if the Niners come out and play, like kind of how the Ravens ended up playing, like first half Ravens were kind of rusty, felt like. Then Lamar Jackson gives a speech at halftime. So I can't say it'd be inappropriate for me to tell you what I said. I basically said, listen, there's some sorry mother, and we're tied with them.
Yep.
He said, hey, that's a great team. That's a great team.
They were playing great.
They were playing really good. Like he had a lot of it's very clear that what he said at halftime was, come on, what are we even doing? We're not doing it. I think if they do end up buzzsawing like the Ravens did in the second half, I think there is a little bit more respect for the Niners potentially, especially at home because of all the weapons that they have and us only knowing a couple players on this Detroit team and us being introduced to who this team is. Remember, the Niners last 4 years. Supposed to be the team.
Yes.
Supposed to be the team. Packers give them a little bit of a scare. The books say 6.5. But with this Lions team, listen to what MCDC said to them in the locker room afterwards. You could feel the entire team is all on a string together in this thing.
You guys are unbelievable, man. I'm telling you, We talked about it all year.
Like he's a fan.
This started a long time ago. You're built for this. You're built for this, man. And look what you guys did. You went out there, and it's another hot team that we knocked off. It's the next hot team that you knock off. Do you know how hard it is to win in this league in the playoffs? Do you understand what you're doing right now? What we're capable of? That's 2. Awesome. All right, that's 2. We got 2 to go. With a bye in the middle.
Don't forget the bye.
With a bye in the middle.
By the way.
I'm unbelievably proud of everybody in here, man. Coaches, players. That's the way to mount up, man. That's a fucking difficult team to beat, man. All right, I got 1 game ball. Man, in the game, need to play. Derek Barnes.
Listen to everybody.
Hey, man, love y'all boys, man. From the support in the linebacker room, the coaches, staff, organization, offense, man. 3 years, man. It took me 3 years to get the first interception, but but it means more because the people who believed in me.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of people didn't. The room. This ball, you know, I got to give it to the linebacker room because I said we was gonna bring one back, and God, we did. And you got to believe how far we can go, man. Believe it now. Believe it now. This is a good win. Enjoy it, man. This comes once in a lifetime. Like Alex used to tell me, man, a lot of people don't make it this far, but we did, man. I love everybody in this room, man. Everybody in here deserve it. That's why we here, like Coach said. Hey, man, time to prepare for San Fran.
I wonder what they said. Their team, win, Lions. I assume Lions because that's kind of the brand that they're all building in there. Grit. You can feel how tight that team, grit on 3. Yeah. You can feel how tight that locker room is, AJ. You can feel it from every video that we see from the place.
Yeah, I think it's cool that you can feel how much it means to them, but also at the same time, they're not overdoing it. They're not sitting there thinking they won the Super Bowl already. Like, here we go. Oh, this is it. Everything else is just icing on the cake from here. No, like they feel like, yeah, we are very excited to be here, but we are just scratching the surface. We are just beginning what we are, set out to do.
Foxy said in the streets it felt like they won a Super Bowl. The fans are allowed to feel that way.
Yes,
but
they should.
But D-Bud even said this in the first hour. He was like, you listen to Jared Goff talk, you listen to them talk, it's like they understand that there's still a job left to be done. 2 games left with a bye in between it. That's the mindset. That's the motto.
Yeah, and just watching them, just seeing them on the field, just seeing the reaction from the sideline when they win and get the pick. Seeing all the players and then listening to that locker room, like that's the best part. We all been in there. Those are the moments you miss. You don't miss the practices. You miss those locker room, after a big win, those trips home with the boys. But and we talk about, a bunch of BS, pregame speeches and the rah-rah speeches. Like those are the real ones. Whereas you could tell everything he's saying, he feels it. You could tell all the guys are fully bought in. And they're in the moment, too. They're enjoying the moment. Hey, congratulations. We're going to enjoy this for 24 hours. And then they fully believe they can go in and hoist that Lombardi.
I was reminiscing. Foxy, like, he didn't realize it, talking about how, like, everyone in the street was honking their horns and stuff like that. For the team, it's awesome. And then for the fans, like, every single win is treated like the Super Bowl up until the Super Bowl. And I forgot about that until Foxy was talking about earlier today. The whole run is awesome.
And on the AFC side, the Chiefs will try to continue their dynastic run as they go to Baltimore into M&T Bank Stadium that caused 5 false starts against the Houston Texans this past weekend. Joining us now, a man who was on a couch just a few months ago, taking reps against Con Man.
That's right.
On the side yard here of the Thunderdome. Now making massive, big-time plays on 3rd and ones or 3rd and short. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah, Kyle!
And baby Keith.
My people. Hey, boys, get your white boys ready. I need some good questions today. Let's go, fellas. Let's go.
I don't know if you said white boys or whiteboards, but nonetheless.
Whiteboards.
Thanks. Don't get us into another war, please. We would, we greatly would appreciate that. Congrats, bud. Hey, that was awesome to watch. All right, so let's talk about this. Your team just seems dominant. Has been. All year it's been kind of the story is just like Lamar Jackson's stats aren't insane. Whenever people are trying to compare his stats to other MVPs, the defense is just like smothering and dominant. And it's just like you guys just dominate teams seemingly. Is that how you guys view the games? Is that the purpose? Because you guys get up 2 scores and it's like the other team has 0 chance with the way you play ball. Why is it that way with the way your team is constructed from behind the scenes?
I think it starts with the players. We're a player-led team. Honestly, it's been awesome being around a leader like Lamar Jackson on an offensive side and Roquan Smith on the defense. Those are 2 leaders. of our team. They've done an amazing job putting their voice out there to say we're not just trying to win, we're trying to dominate and stay locked in. You've heard Lamar say that over the course of the season. He means it, and he means business. And that's kind of our attitude right now. You saw the coaches and the players excited after this last game. And, it kind of went viral a little bit, but it was like, enjoy that minute of celebration. And then right after that, it's stay locked in and on to the next. Like, we're focused on this next game, and we're excited for the opportunity to play the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, what a story it's going to be. That's a new America's team. And, if we got to play the villain, we got to play the villain.
I don't know if you're the villain against Kansas City Chiefs. If you guys want to tell yourselves that to motivate yourselves, go ahead and do it. There's a lot of people excited for Taylor Swift and Travis and Pat to maybe not make it to the Super Bowl. But I will say, watching your locker room and John Harbaugh, who he very rarely gets talked about as one of the great coaches in the NFL. Everybody else's name seems to get uttered, but he's been there for a long time, won a Super Bowl there through numerous eras, and obviously number one seed here in 2024. What is it about Harbaugh, or maybe the Harbaughs, you think, from getting a chance to experience that creates good ball clubs? Why do you think the Harbaughs are so successful at coaching? More specifically, I guess, John, because that's who you are playing for currently.
I think it starts with their family motto. Who's got it better than us? Nobody. I think it starts right there. That's their motto. That's their attitude. They really believe and know that nobody's got it better than they do. They know how blessed they are. They, are a firm believer in the man upstairs. They do all the right things the right way. And it's awesome to be a part of a Harbaugh story. He's done an awesome job to have the whole family there, to get to introduce myself to all of them. It was awesome. And just that whole vibe of the family is just amazing. They're a football family. They eat, breathe, sleep football, and it's awesome to be a part of.
And dancing. I mean, he was vibing.
Yeah.
He was vibing there.
He was vibing.
Who's the bald white that starts that whole thing off? And is that a normal, is this a tradition in your guys' locker room that we haven't seen, or is this first time?
Yeah, that was kind of a bet that Coach G, he lost. Godsey, he lost, and so Harbaugh called his ass out and was like, "You got your bet's a bet." And so I don't think he wants to ever do that again. So I think he lost that bet pretty good. And honestly, it was about. I hope he doesn't ever do it again. It was a good 30 seconds. It was awesome. I think he did his thing, but. Pat, I just want to reiterate. I know it's kind of annoying, is just how locked in this group is, and I mean it. Guys are laser focused on winning, and you can see it by every time you turn on the TV. These dudes, including myself, have chips on our shoulder, and we're hungry, and we know we got the Chiefs, and they're not a easy task. They're a really good football team playing the best. Their best when it matters the most, the postseason. The last 2 weeks, the whole season, everybody's kind of wrote them off a little bit. But these last two seasons, they've played really complimentary football with their offensive stepping up and their defense coming along like they have all season.
Yeah, so they wrote off the Chiefs, and nobody talked about you guys. And now you're in the AFC Championship together. Can't wait to see it. Go ahead, AJ.
Kyle, where were you at halftime when Lamar kind of rallied the troops? He said he couldn't really get into specifics exactly what he said, but what was the sentiment of what he was expressing to you guys?
I was sitting down in my locker like, oh shit.
How was it? Hey, it was pretty animated, huh?
No, I'm not gonna make it bigger than what it is.
Okay.
It wasn't. I think. Obviously, in the media, we like to make things a little bit bigger than it was.
Bingo! Give us something!
Yeah. I think it was more of him, and where he's at as a player. I feel like he has been kind of, the lead by example. And I think he's matured over his course of his career to finally be like, all right, enough's enough. This is my opportunity to say something. Let's do it. And I think he voiced his opinion, and it was felt. and it was proved on the football field in the second half. I mean, come out of the gates and they score a touchdown to start the half, and he's like, damn right, like, we locked in, stay locked in. So, being from Broward County myself is an amazing thing, right, D-Butt?
Crib.
Hey, South Florida had a question from D-Butt, actually. Go ahead, D-Butt.
Yeah, that bye week, man. We saw the Niners get off and be a little rusty and not, I guess, play their best football. Offensively, I think you guys kind of the same thing, but defensively, I feel like you guys were locked in from the jump. What was that bye week prep like with Mike McDaniel? Was a bunch of walkthroughs, a bunch of practice? Like, what was it like, and how are you guys so sound on that defensive side of the ball?
Our asses were practicing, D-Butt. It was intense practices. We did a lot of one-on-ones, which was really good, competitive, a lot of trash talking, which was good to keep that mindset right. I want to talk a little bit about the offense. I don't think they started as fast as they wanted. I mean, you guys are saying start fast, but scoring 10 points, I still feel like, that it's not great. It's not bad. I think it was more of how Texans, I think they blitzed on 80% of their plays in the first half. And I think the adjustments that Coach Monken and Lamar had by having a little bit of shorter passes, the run game opening a little bit more, feeding off of each other, a couple misdirection plays, a couple running the quarterback a little bit more, open it up. And I think that's just a testament of Lamar and his maturing, as well as Todd, seeing the game for what it was in the first half and being really good and adjusting. And then our defense can still playing grimy. I mean, this group is a grimy, savage group that's ready to go at any point. You got two all-pro middle linebackers that are playing elite football that are putting the middle linebacker back on the map after, kind of getting pushed down to devalued, but they're putting more value every time those two step on the football field.
Look at Keith Van Noy with a big-time stop right there. Getting grimy.
We got to talk about this. Where did Keith come up? It's not. I don't care.
I think Pro Football Talk said Keith Van Noy has been active. Yeah, Pro Florida.
Flores did that?
Yeah. What's his name? Flores?
No, it's Flores. Yeah, it's Flores. Just like Lambo, we got Flores, we got them all, man.
Yeah, we got to kick him.
Hey, Lambo's got to be shaking in his boots. He said I couldn't. He said I couldn't rush. I love Lambo. I think I proved I can be a 4-man rusher now.
Hey, well, congrats! Hey, congrats on proving Lambo wrong.
Yeah, suck it, Lambo.
Yeah.
Suck it, Lambo, you stupid.
Suck it.
No, we ain't gonna go there.
No, we will. Not you.
Yeah. Good people.
Here, take Kyle off the screen. Take Kyle off the screen just so he's in such a.
Suck it, Lambo. You suck. Lambo doesn't know shit.
All right, put Keith back up there. All right. Okay, hey, so we talked about Monken and Lamar making the adjustments. Let's talk about McDonald because his name's getting mentioned now for like jobs and conversations. What is it about? I don't think any of us really know anything about him. So he was with the Ravens, I think his assistant, goes to Michigan, D coordinator, comes back to Baltimore, and I think a lot of the older coaches like super young guy, how's he going to you guys flat out just ball. Now you got playmakers everywhere, but there's only 4 teams left. Everybody has playmakers everywhere. What is it about him? He seems to be a young guy that gets it. What is it about his scheme and him that makes you guys play so well?
Yeah, Coach Mack leads an awesome coaching group. I mean, obviously it starts with Harbaugh, but then Coach Mack, D. Will, secondary coach, Z.O., linebackers coach, Coach Weave.
Great nicknames across the board.
Wow. Yeah, Coach Weave.
Mack,
and then you got our guy Chuck. So we got a lot of guys in that coach's room that should get a lot of looks. They've done a really, really good job. Coach Mack, I mean, he's putting on clinics of calling games, and honestly, he's just done a really good job galvanizing this group each week to buy into down after down after down, and then to play harder than anybody else. I mean, that's what we're standing on. The Ravens, we play harder, and it's noticeable on TV. You watch this group fly around to the football, violent. We talk about violence, not talking about hitting. We're talking about violence. And them boys are violent to the football. Yeah.
That's what Darius's big takeaway. That was Darius's big takeaway this morning about the Ravens team. He was like, sometimes with the weather, you see some people that maybe aren't trying to make contact with anybody. Everybody on the Ravens defense is trying to hurt somebody on every single play. Feels like that's the case. I'm happy to hear that that's a mindset you guys have written on the wall, seemingly. Violence.
Yeah, we can't put it on walls. We can't say hurt, but we just talk about being violent.
Hey, the old days.
Yeah.
The old
You
days.
get it.
That thing will be right across the board. Now,
Yeah.
another thing that you can see and feel on TV is that home field advantage. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Kyle, Pat has said this for a long time about how, people who maybe haven't played there or like fans who've never been to a game there, like the home field advantage in Baltimore is very real and very kind of underrated, not really talked about as much. Obviously, you're no stranger to playing home games in the playoffs all those years in New England, too. But what is that home field advantage really like in Baltimore? And when you guys get up like you did on Saturday, like how much does that come into play when the fans are going crazy? And then obviously you have another one this upcoming week against the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Ravens flock, they really bring it all game long. The bank was packed. The bank was rocking. I mean, you saw those delay of games. You saw the false start, the pre-penalties. It's a real thing. That's what is awesome about playing in an atmosphere like the bank. It's one of one. It's kind of sad that it's underrated, but I believe, they have an opportunity this weekend to really, put themselves on the map by showcasing how loud they can be. And excited to play in front of a fan group like we have. The Baltimore City, is tough, rugged, get it out the mud type of attitude group. And we're excited to put on for this city, put on for the fans. They do an amazing job. I mean, you guys got to tune in to the national anthem because they'll say, "Oh," in that Star Spangled Banner. They say, "Oh," louder than it's the loudest in the whole business, and it's amazing to play in front of a fan group. It's awesome.
Home of the Chiefs. You're talking about the say, can you see? They dropped the O there. Yeah. That's for the Orioles,
There
I
you
think.
go.
How is Orioles good at baseball?
Yeah,
Not bad.
last year, yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Hey, Pat, you got good singing, bro. You guys got a good little singing group over there.
Hey, we try, and then we'll get canceled. And then sometimes we sound so good, we get a strike.
Yeah.
And then
That's the worst.
we got to stay away from it. Yes, we're that talented over here. We're that talented.
Should hear our happy birthday.
Yeah, well.
Pretty good.
I bet AJ's got a good ass karaoke song. I already know. You could feel it.
You want to show us a little something, AJ, huh, for the boys?
I don't think so. It's not really. I'm not an elite performer at karaoke, but I'll try. I'll try to get better at it.
What is the song that you go to? What song of choice?
Something that everyone can sing along to. Obviously, don't sing some stupid long ballad that you want to show off your own voice.
So down with the sickness.
Agreed. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Could you imagine AJ going to the middle of karaoke?
Yeah, exactly.
1, nothing's wrong with me. 2.
No, I see AJ doing a little Kodak Black. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, So we saw a video actually of Zay Flowers doing some Kodak Black from training camp in like a team conference. I don't know. And then we saw a video.
I don't know either. I was hanging with you, bro.
Yeah, you were right here. You were right here. But then I saw a video from the practice facility of the guys putting together their starting 5 on a basketball team. And Lamar goes last, and somebody throws something on him. He dodges it, and then he quote tweets the video, and he goes, "Before I was rudely interrupted," he puts it, "feels like this team is very..." Now, granted, there's only 4 teams left. Everybody's going to be tight. But it feels like since the beginning of the season, everybody knows this is Lamar's team. It feels like Lamar is one of the guys. It feels like your team is very, very, very tight. Why is that? And is that a good observation that the entire squad is really together more? And does it reminisce about any other teams you've been on before?
I get that question a lot. I won't compare. I put every team I've been on in their own category. This one is special, though. This one's led by, like I said earlier, player ran. This group is very close. They have an amazing core. I mean, think about their core. Is just, they're young and good. I mean, from Kyle Hamilton, who's 22, to Roquan, who's 26, to Tyler Lindenbaum, who's 22, 23. He's a dog. Come on, let's say it with me. 1, 2, 3, dog.
Dog.
There we go. little missed by there because of the camera and all that. All good.
Well, the setup
But,
not great.
you
You're
know,
in football season.
yeah.
Well, he'll get back to host season. Yeah, he'll get into host season.
And then we have Lamar, who, is still 27 years old. So they have such a young nucleus. And then Zay Flowers, can't forget about him. So their nucleus is so young and so awesome. I'm just happy to be a part of the organization, to be a part of this young crew that's looking to win and just locked in, ready to go, focused up to win.
The team who has won a lot as of late. Tone has a question for you about him.
Yeah, Kyle, Mahomes is notoriously hard to get on the ground. Now, you've probably faced him more than the other guys being with the Chargers against him last year, a couple games. Will you be sharing any information, or what's the approach to just getting to Mahomes and bothering him?
Yeah, it's always tough to get after Mahomes, but it's really it's not a simple answer. It's going to take a scheme. It's going to take all 11 of guys buying into that scheme and doing it play after play after play. Mahomes is an incredible talent. There's nobody like him. And I'm just excited for this task as a group to go in. What a better way to be in the AFC Championship, in the bank, at home, good weather, against the champions. I mean, I'm excited.
Hell yeah. Hey, what year is this for you?
Go.
What year is this for you?
10. This will be my 4th AFC Championship in 10 years. I'm very, very pumped about that, excited. Let's get it.
Hey, you done good. Thank you so much for making time for us on this day. Can't wait to watch you this weekend, man. Good luck out there.
All love. Thank you, guys. Keep killing it like always.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah, Kyle.
Where does Keith come from? Everybody's tweeting me. I'm like, what?
My name's Kyle.
Who do I got to hate for this?
Flores.
And they're saying it's us. Then he thought it was Lombo.
Yeah.
And then he's it's Flores.
Flores.
Of course it is.
Also feels like he doesn't know Lombo's name is Lombo. Because he was like, we got Flores and we got Lombo. I wasn't sure if he didn't realize that.
Oh, you think he was mocking his name?
Yeah, I thought Lombo.
No, that's actually name.
Yeah.
No, he knows that's Lombo for sure. But you think about Lamar calling out Flores.
Yeah.
And then you think about him talking about Lombo. It's like that team also, they hear. I think they hear everything in there, AJ. You heard how young that entire core is. I think they probably hear everything and utilize it, and they're the right group to do it, AJ.
Yeah, you feel like a fun college vibe when you see their team. You see them in the locker room, you see them on the field, as he says, talking about violence, how they all run to the ball. But what's different, I feel like, with the Chiefs coming in, do you think the Chiefs are starting to enjoy that villain role? They want to take that villain role on. We see the guys talking pregame to the Bills Mafia. We see them dodging snowballs and multiple players looking up in the stands, and Mahomes is running off, and they seem to have a great time with it. Like, I think they're embracing it. They know, like, when you're this good and you win so much, of course people, will be coming at you. And I think they seem to get some good juice from all of this.
We talked about it in the first hour. A lot of kiss blow to the crowd. I got a text from somebody on the team that said, that was an awesome environment. That was electrifying. And everybody was talking about how this is the first time Patrick's going to have to go on the road. So it's the first time he ever got a chance to taste that. Especially playoff atmosphere where fans are even, more amped. First time he's ever had to experience really loud crowd while he's on offense, Yeah. So it is actually him versus them because the crowd is trying to affect the other team's offense. That's the first time that competitive he is a uber competitive human being. First time getting a chance to experience that, it almost feels like it energized him. Like it made him even better. And we've been trying to figure out, is this Chiefs team back? Is this Chiefs team back to being who they were, who we thought they were going to be? Feels like they're having more fun. Feels like they're having more fun than they had been having for a long time on the field. You saw Patrick get upset. You saw Travis at one point do this. There was miscommunications. There was bad football taking place. There was obviously, I don't want to say sulking after games, but negative vibes coming from the team. Now it's the complete opposite, and they're the buzzsaw. Van Noy talked about it. They're playing their best ball. I think being in Buffalo propelled them to that even more because it's a bunker mentality that you also have to get through. What a beautiful thing whenever they get to Baltimore, because Baltimore's going to say stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Baltimore fans will say stuff. We will hear some stuff come from those Baltimore fans. Not that Buffalo won't, but Baltimore has some top tier D1 shit talkers.
Love that
in there. They have some good. I'm excited to hear how they treat this Kansas City Chiefs team and how Kansas City feels about it.
I can't wait, especially them going in as an underdog. I think maybe he may have dealt with that in the Super Bowl in Tampa. I'm not sure how that crowd was. Our Super Bowls, I don't know how the crowd was in Tampa.
There's only half, too.
Okay, but so it's going to be completely different in the bank. But the Baltimore Ravens, I mean, they're just playing so well on both sides of the ball. And obviously, I feel like that's been all year for them. All regular season, good teams had the bye week, and now they kind of recharged. Kansas City kicked it in late, though. We always talk about playing your best ball when it matters most. Defense has been on point all year long. I just can't wait for this. This was a great weekend, this divisional weekend. Can't wait for this championship weekend.
Here's some interesting stats from Hembo about the Kansas City Chiefs this past weekend. Mahomes has 6 career playoff games with a 90-plus QBR. No other quarterback in the history of the metric, 2006, has more than 3. 3 of those 6 come versus Buffalo. That's tough.
Sorry, Buffalo.
Yikes.
That's a bummer.
Good defenses, too, Buffalo, those years.
Yeah.
Like
Buffalo's supposed to go every year. Defense supposed to go.
Yeah.
Travis ran routes from 7 different positions: slot right, slot left, tight end right, tight end left, wide left, and from the backfield. Getting creative with Travis Kelce. Felt like he was more open than he had been all season. Is that because of Andy Reid scheming? What do you think, D-Butt?
Just Travis Kelce being Travis Kelce. It's playoff time. We're gonna get 87 the ball. We're gonna find a way to get him open. Then Rashee Rice, been a weapon out there. MVS when he had opportunities to make plays.
Huge plays.
Everybody stepping. And Hardman, I don't know how many touches he'll get going forward. Tough game, but hopefully he bounces back.
On that point, the Chiefs had 2 penalties and only 1 drop. Pretty clean game.
Damn.
Pretty clean game. Now, Hockey Lee was letting that thing roll, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were letting that thing play. I felt like there was a lot of times he going, if we call it here, we got to call it.
Yeah.
All right.
On you.
Both. Fans booing, McDermott doing a what the, and him going, hey, we haven't, right? We haven't. All right, thank you. I like it when they're letting the boys play.
The best.
Hey, a lot of refs letting the boys play.
Have to.
Love it.
From kickoff all the way through, as opposed to letting them play for 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters, and then calling tight. It's like they've been letting them kind of play all 4 quarters. The NFL is getting soft, is what they're saying. Sounds like there maybe was a directive to refs to be like, we're not deciding games anymore. Do you feel that, AJ? Or should we?
Yes,
I think we should knock on wood.
Definitely.
Right? I feel like it's been okay.
I wonder how much is actually said to them or how much comes from the top or those guys, like the crew that comes together before the game. I would imagine they're the night before, they go to dinner together. They're probably talking like their coaches, like the game plan. Hey, now here, let's be consistent, obviously, through 4 quarters. We want to do that, obviously, but how do we find a way to let them play but not let the game get out of hand? Like, it's a tough thing to kind of juggle.
All-star ref crews, right? Only the highest-graded ref crews still reffing at this point. They also have a white cap with each head coach who is plugged in. I think so that the coaches don't have to do full, wah! They got a coach literally following them. It kind of looked weird, to be honest, that a ref was just following the coach everywhere he was going, because it looked like the ref felt like, I got to hold this guy.
Hold
but
back.
instead, it was just, I think, for communication purposes. And I feel like there's been more eyes and less flags. And that is beautiful. That is a wonderful thing. There was also, after discussion, 2 yards short of the first down when somebody ran out of bounds.
Yep.
I forget what game. That ball was already spotted. Huddles were already happening. Next play clock was going. No challenge had to be thrown. And they go, after discussion, is actually 2 yards short here. It'll be 3rd down, which is monumental. It's like, hey, we're doing it right here.
Oh, yeah.
This seems to be what we need to do going forward. I'm pretty proud.
Yes.
I'm pretty proud of
That's
the NFL
tough.
officials.
Those 2 quarterbacks, too,
Yeah.
like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, like those are tough to not throw a flag on every down. And you'll have the same thing with Lamar Jackson and Mahomes this upcoming weekend. So definitely keep
Proud of these
The
officials.
only one that the internet had a problem with last night was the illegal contact, pass interference on the crossing route when the linebacker came across and bumped him, which I thought was a good call. I thought it was a clear either pass interference or illegal contact. But that was the only one that the internet really had a problem with last night that I noticed.
So, right, we got to...
Yeah, we got to give them the props. We obviously talk about when we feel like they messed the game up. So, give them their props.
Good round.
And also, I mean, if we're going to have eyes on...
Good round.
It's good rounds, okay?
Good round.
Yeah, look,
Let's not look ahead, okay? You got 24 hours to celebrate.
Yeah, no one won the Super Bowl.
You got another game.
Bingo.
Championship week's coming up.
AJ was bitching about the fumble out of the end zone, though, because he hates that rule so much.
AJ, okay, let's talk about it. Obviously, talking about the Chiefs situation when McCole Hardman had the ball twice, ball on the ground both times. Tough week, but he'll bounce back. He will bounce back. Here he is, 1st and goal, 4th quarter. Extends, tries, ball comes out from All-Pro Poe, makes a hell of a play. Touchback, Buffalo Bills ball. Now, every time this happens, 4th quarter of a divisional round game, this is huge, 3-point game. This is a massive spotlight. I don't know how many million people, probably 40 million people watching this.
Yeah,
31.8 million people watched it. So this is after DeMar Hamlin gets stuffed on a fake punt call on 4th and 5, in which some people on the internet say, hey, Sean McDermott, this ain't a Disney movie. Like, it doesn't just work, just because it's supposed to. That's not how real life is. Could have got it. I mean, they pick it up there. That's a huge play. They try to run a fake. Defense saves them out, bails them out with the punch out, fumble for a touchback. This morning, last night, they got to change the rule. That's what everybody's saying. Got to change the rule.
Every time it happens. What do you mean? People are up in arms.
Too punitive of a mistake. Punishment is they lose the ball and the other team gets the ball at the 20.
Everything on the planet is geared towards the offense scoring points. I think this one is all right. We know the rules, though. And even Andy Reid, I thought he handled it very well. They asked him about it in his post-game presser, and he's like, McColl's done a bunch of great stuff for us. He's made a lot of plays. We can't extend the ball there at the goal line. We know it's kind of like a thing. It's just not one of the things that you absolutely cannot do because things like this happen.
Now, we love Greeny. Love Greeny.
Love him.
Yes.
Multiple Hall of Fames. Lucky to be on the same network as Greeny currently, right now. Who knows? But definitely right now on the same exact network as Greeny. He's a big, we need to change the rule thing. We need to do that. It's like, it's football,
What
man.
do you want to do, though? Like bring the ball to the 20 or what? What does he want to do?
Well, their thing is you can't advance a fumble on the offensive side. So why do they automatically get to do it on the defensive side? They say it's too big of a punishment because it's a 7-point. It's like it's a turnover, dude.
Fumble.
Yeah. You literally, it's our end zone. Like
onto the ball.
End zone is ours. Like this is our. We are guarding our end zone. So if the ball ends up in ours, that's ours.
So what if he fumbles at the 5 and the defense recovers it on the 3? Do they want the offense to have it then too? They get another chance.
That's very punitive right there. The only good thing that will come from it if they do change the rule, which who knows if they do. Maybe they do.
They're saying they're leaning towards, right? You know what the feeling is
They're
that league sources are telling us that they're leaning towards changing the rule.
They're crumbling.
I would hate it, but if they do change it, we would get some sick goal line out every week. So 5 yards and then I'm out of there.
They're going to change it. They're going to change it, D, but you're right. They'll definitely change it, especially knowing what is possible. Yeah, how, I guess, crazy thing, how guys can go after it a lot more. Like, they will change it.
Holding the ball like a punter.
Yeah.
Diving.
Switch hands. Yeah, halfway through.
That would be fantastic. I do appreciate how mad everybody gets about, come on!
Every time.
Come on!
I saw some tweets today that said the conversation was going to happen about changing it, but no reasonable alternative has been brought up yet, so they don't know if it'll actually change.
No.
I don't know. Do they have a jump ball maybe? Maybe they do old XFL kickoff.
Scrum.
Put the ball at the 50.
Yep.
Get one person designated from each team that's currently on the field.
Yeah.
Nobody from that isn't on the field during the play has to start on their own goal line and get the ball at the 50. Deal?
That's a good idea.
Cool.
That's a good
Let's
idea.
make it the coaches.
Tire tug of war.
Each head coach
has to go out.
Andy Reid, Sean McDermott, goal line.
Who can make it?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Imagine Sean McDermott getting there, getting the ball and just staring at Andy Reid, who's at the 10-yard line still. That's what I thought. Ball's going the other way. First down, Buffalo Bills. Let's talk about everything happening with the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy was asked about the way he handled the rain in his post-game presser, and he looked a little bummed out.
He was bummed out.
This guy led a game-winning drive in the divisional round in his second year as the last pick in the draft.
Yeah. Wow.
This man in his second year right now wins a divisional round game on a game-winning drive and has to answer questions about him sucking pretty much and being all bummed out. Wild expectations already placed on this man who was picked
256,
whatever it was.
200 irrelevant.
Just like 16 months ago or whatever the case is. Here's Brock Purdy talking about the rain.
Ball placement wasn't as precise as it
Looks
normally
bummed out.
is. Was the rain an issue for you? Did it impact you?
Yeah, I mean, early on, obviously I put on the glove for the first drive. It was coming down, and then it sprinkled, so I took it off. So I was still trying to sort of figure out what I wanted to do, and I was sort of fed up with the glove, so I just obviously was throwing like I normally do, and there was some times where I'm dropping back, ball's a little wet from the grass, sort of affected some accuracy and stuff. But dude, that's football, so I got to be better in that area.
Hey Jay, what are your thoughts on it? Because his hand size, the exact same as Patrick Mahomes.
That's right, 9.25.
So it's not that his hands are too small. It's just he wasn't able to deal with the wet ball as well as.
So what can you do though? What are the options if your hands aren't going to grow? What can he do to get better with that? I appreciate him saying that and trying to put it on himself. But all right, what do you want me to do?
Also, you just won a divisional round, had a game-winning drive.
Yeah. Bring a little bag of chalk like you're Alex Honnold free climbing somewhere.
Probably help.
Bad idea.
Smart.
But then chalk with water, that becomes clunk.
Caked up. Snow.
It might be a lot of grit in there.
Yeah.
Don't want grit, especially this week. Grit's the other team's thing.
I got good news.
Amen. What's that?
I think it's supposed to be 68 sunny in Santa Clara, and then they play inside in Vegas. It's a non.
The Brock Purdy show is back, baby.
Boom.
The Brock Purdy show is back. Have we got a chance to hear your full take on the Detroit Football Lions? Have you?
I don't think so. I mean, I've been living through Foxy and his excitement and everything that's been going on. I can't imagine what it was like being in the stadium. I felt how loud it was over the TV. But yeah, seeing Dan Campbell in the locker room, that's awesome. I think some coaches, at times, you'll see throughout the regular season, guys will talk to the team post game and it gets kind of awkward and cringy. They feel like, okay, I gotta rally the troops or give game balls out and do this. Dan Campbell is just straight letting it out. Everything that he feels, how he feels about that squad, and you can kind of feel it. And I think the players feel it as well. It's fun to watch.
He's been like that since day one, just very transparent, almost too transparent. You know, at day one speech, he's laying out like his exact thoughts to the media.
Oh, yeah.
He obviously gets mocked and ridiculed by a lot of people because that's not how a head coach is supposed to sound. But now here we sit. How many years is he in? 4, 3?
This is year 3.
3 years into this, and it's everything that he kind of laid out.
Yep.
This guy's an artist.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's visionary.
Yeah.
This guy is what people are going to be searching for as a head coach for a lot of these spots that are opening up as we go forward in the NFL. There's only one Dan Campbell, though. And there's only one
1000%.
Detroit Lions
Yes.
that needed Dan Campbell at the exact moment, Fox.
And I love the standard he set, right? Like me as a fan, I've just been asking for a playoff win. That's all I want. And any win we get, I am happy. And that's how Victory Beer Chug started, because I'm so pumped just to see wins, but not Dan Campbell. He legitimately believes they can go and win the Super Bowl, and it's awesome to see. And that's the message he's relayed to his team, and they all believe it too. When they beat the Rams that first playoff game, Sewell wasn't even like that excited running off the field. He looked at the camera, he goes, "Job's not finished yet." And I'd love to see that.
Foxy, I love that you have the hoarse voice right now. Is it still house money? You still cool with losing this weekend?
No, now we got to go. Now we go. I really believe.
One game away from the Super Bowl.
Yes, one game away from the Super Bowl. MCDC has me believing we can beat this team and we can go to Vegas, and then anything can happen. It's unbelievable to be saying that as a Detroit Lion fan.
Last week, we heard Dan Campbell talk about Baker Mayfield and how much respect he has for him. And then he told a story that I hadn't heard about Baker throwing for basically every wide receiver the year he was coming out. He said, we were working out, I forget who it was, and Baker had a workout the next day for Cleveland and maybe another day for somebody else, and he came out in flip-flops and threw for this wide receiver for the entire workout. And then he did it again for another workout like a week or two later, and he said nobody ever talks about that, but like that told me a lot about Baker Mayfield. So it was nice to hear him. I'll be excited to hear what Dan Campbell has to say about this San Francisco 49ers team. You know?
Yeah.
The way Dan Campbell's going to describe this Niners defense is going to be because they're in the same vein. You talk about grit, even though they're San Francisco and they've been at the top.
They fly to the ball. These dudes, I mean, early in the game, you see Fred Warner, Greenlaw both like meeting at the ball, just smacking dudes. Like they try to set the tone early. They can absolutely fly around. There's some stud defenses left in the playoffs right now.
Shanahan now is going to be judged immediately on this game.
Yes.
You know, like this is how
it's a lot. It's tough. Can you imagine being a coach like
number one seed?
It's so tough. It's tough. You want a coach. They get paid a lot of money for a reason, man.
Hasn't won one. Hasn't won one, though. Remember, has not won a Super Bowl. Like John Harbaugh, number one seed for the AFC. If the Chiefs win there, okay, it'll be like hell of a run for Baltimore. Obviously, Ravens fans will be pissed off, but the narrative will be Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid do their thing.
Lamar will hear it, though.
Definitely. Oh, you think so?
Oh, yeah. The whole narrative around Lamar, and I know he's had a great year. I think he'll win the MVP again, but if he goes and loses to, even though it's Patrick Mahomes, we know how great he is, being in there at one seed, home field advantage, it'll be all the
missed opportunity. Another missed opportunity.
How he plays.
Man, I see a lot of people that say, we must live in a oblivious, which we do, I guess. That's kind of my life. Blinders on.
Of course.
Focus on. Lamar, I think in everybody's eyes, great, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not here, everywhere. Everybody feel that?
On the internet?
I wouldn't say everybody.
Not everybody.
No,
not
I mean,
him
the whole thing
so.
was his playoff record and not being good in the playoffs. He got that off this week. And I think if he plays good next week and loses, he'll be all right. But if he doesn't,
he's phenomenal
obviously.
to watch, dude.
Yeah.
I actually tweeted this during the game. Man, this feels a little different this year for the Ravens. If he plays in a Super Bowl, it's like 130 million.
Yes.
Now, granted, last year I think it was 114 million. So we do an uptick because everybody's ratings somehow are up. Everybody's ratings are up. Everybody's ratings for everything are up.
A lot of TVs.
I guess.
Yeah, more TVs.
How's that work?
I don't know. Everything's up. Everything up and to the right. Love it. Checkbox. Everything's good, which is great and fun. And we're lucky to be a part of it all. But the world getting to watch Lamar Jackson, like, you know how the Super Bowl is sometimes the only game that some people in some countries watch? Them seeing Lamar Jackson just be like, what the hell is this?
This guy.
What the hell? Well, it would be great.
Why is he so fast and he can throw the ball so well? What's going on here?
Would be great for football. Like, that was what I was thinking the other day as they were just piling on the Houston Texans, who are a team that we love and we think the future is going to be incredibly bright for. But all I kept thinking to myself, this guy had 4 touchdowns yesterday, obviously threw for 2, ran for 2. Somebody in like Brazil is only going to watch one game this year, and it's going to be the Super Bowl, and they're going to see Lamar and just be like, holy shit, have you seen what football is?
Yeah, need more of that.
And it's great for our game.
I think it's like an age line. Like if you, I would say probably mid-30s and lower, huge, probably 90% Lamar fans. Once you get older, it's like, it's not a quarterback. But to us, if anybody watched football, played football, been like, yes, he's one of one, he's unique, but he is a great player, great quarterback, and his winning, everything he's done on the field since he's been in the league has proven that.
This is 4th and 1 right here, wide open. We have Lamar, you don't. And also doesn't take a big shot, which we talked about in the first hour. He saves himself from shots while still getting tackled. His awareness is...
The one shot he did take yesterday, I believe the defender got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it?
He's from
Flew in there, too.
He's from South Florida. He's not going to let somebody ever think that they got him, like ever. And then he just throws it on somebody's head because likely goes, hey, next time we do this, throw this one high. You got it.
Petrie, that was
Hey, go high, please, next time. Thank you. Yeah, yep, you got it. Yeah. Oh, you're right. On his head.
It's awesome.
Just playing like literally a kid's game, it looks like, for this Ravens team. And they're tough. They're going to be tough. That's how Harbaugh kind of builds his team. You talk about Linderbaum. He's the youngest of their entire offensive line. He's the only Pro Bowler, but I assume they love him. He's just that team is phenomenal.
Even Dalvin got a carry yesterday.
He did.
A couple of
early. Yeah.
He got like 4 or 5 of them. He actually lost a couple yards at the end.
He did.
He had a lot of yards, and then he started losing like 2, and then he started losing 3, and then it was like, all right, let's get out of here. Let's save some yards here. But Dalvin coming in at the end, fresh, with a lot of hope. Why not the Baltimore Ravens this year? What?
Absolutely.
Their defense is so good.
Oh, because Patrick Mahomes.
Well,
Yeah, and that's why, like, if the story, sure, I mean, Lamar will get heat if they do lose to the Chiefs because his name's not Josh Allen. But if the Chiefs win against the defense that we just talked about, like, that's the story. Like, Patrick Mahomes goes on the road twice and beats the Ravens defense, who is one of, if not the best defense, I guess the Niners. But
And on the other side, if the Niners lose, Brock Purdy's not a franchise quarterback.
Nope.
And is Shanahan ever? It'll get real loud.
For sure.
Right, AJ? I mean, that would get so loud over there in the NFC.
Luckily, he's now 1-30. He got that off his back, kind of when he's losing by 5 or more heading in the fourth quarter. Is that what he finally? Okay, cool. Like, even though that shouldn't have any impact on the future games, like, I'm sure it feels good to at least get that off your back. But yeah, now he knows it's Super Bowl or bust for him. Like, I'm not saying they're going to say fire the dude, but you know how crazy and irrational people are. They're going to say, oh, here we go, another missed opportunity, our window's closing, all those things.
Yeah, people are very crazy and irrational.
Oh, yeah. And
that is kind of football.
They've played Goff a lot, so those Niners fans will not be happy if they lose to Goff.
Speaking of that note, crazy and irrational, Roseman and Sirianni have a press conference coming on Wednesday.
Yes.
I guess Sirianni is sticking around is what everybody's thinking. They're just going to get brand new coordinators and kind of do a rebuild from that particular aspect for the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to have to move on from Jason Kelce, who had the greatest night in the history of a recently retired football player, cheering his brother on in Buffalo in Timbs and sweats, and that's it. Andy Reid was asked about it this morning, said that his wife met Jason Kelce while he was shirtless and drunk, and he said he's a great kid. He's absolutely great guy. Shout out to the Big Yeti doing his thing. And I'm happy that the world has embraced him as well, because Kelce's just 2 Ohio brothers doing their thing. And they won last night.
Yeah.
And Jason Kelce is a freak athlete. Not only does he almost bust his face here whenever he jumps down, his Timbs gather, and then he's able at 290 pounds, pretty drunk. Look at right there.
Wow. All ice and snow, and he doesn't go down.
Just lands it, sticks the landing, daps a couple people up. Let me go ahead and finish this boosh light. And then that thing's at that guy. Look, is he on a trampoline, dude?
My God.
jeez.
What a stud. What a stallion. All right, we're wrapping up. You can get Verizon Home Internet for blazing fast and reliable home internet. Cut the cable. Switch to Verizon Home Internet.
It's time.
Shout out to Verizon. Speaking of internet, we'll continue over there on YouTube, ESPN Plus, and this third hour should be a good one. A lot to talk about here on Championship Week. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to be a part of your day, whether it's the afternoon, the morning, or the evening, depending upon where you watch from. We'll be back tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. We're in this thing together. Goodbye. Boom. Right there.
Boom. Felt good. Felt like you nailed it, yeah.
Mashed.
Well, I started a little bit earlier than I thought. I was doing some math in my head. I'm like, boy, we got 24 seconds still. But there were some little add-ons you could certainly have. But then at the end, got that.
So are you lefty? Are you full go lefty when it comes to baseball?
No, actually opposite. I'm a righty.
That was a great lefty swing, though.
It is, yeah, but in real life, it doesn't. Like in real life, it
doesn't compute.
Not even for contact?
No, because I
Probably,
want. Go ahead.
Probably, I bet you're a power hitter right-handed and you're a contact hitter left.
I mean, I've proven to be neither.
That is kind of what we deduced when you went down for game day, though, and took some cuts from both sides of the plate. Said, hey, I was spraying it everywhere, from the left side, but you almost went yard from the right side.
Yeah, I hit one.
So, yeah.
Foul.
Yeah.
Good.
Righty. And if that stays in, I'm probably talking about it forever. Then I went down and did BP with Alabama, the Alabama baseball team. And I did not know I was doing BP there. And their coach was throwing real fast, real close.
Yep.
Boy.
What was that about?
And then the left one just wasn't.
He wants the exit velocity. He wants you to pull one out, so he throws it hard at you.
He was a good guy. He was throwing good pitches. Speaking of Alabama, I think we're talking to Kalen DeBoer on Wednesday.
Oh, nice. Here we go.
Oh, it's interesting times.
He's going through
Yeah.
it.
Say it's too late to go
Oh,
back.
AJ, yeah. Are you happy about it?
Not even his fault. No, I'm saying that's the problem. Like, you taking the Alabama gig. What do you? It's not your fault if guys are going to enter the portal and all these guys are leaving.
There's a 30-day window, too, after your coach leaves. Where,
what do we have, 20 days left? We still have plenty of time, don't we?
Well, you're everybody is granted an opportunity to just talk to whoever. That's going to be tough.
There's programs a lot of
welcome to Ohio State, though.
And there's a lot of kids that went to play with Nick Saban. Like, that's what happens.
Yeah, I guess that's the way it's being said, and I agree with that completely. But there's a 30-day period of 100 5-stars being able to talk to whoever. Ohio State allegedly has spent $13 million on the transfer portal and NIL. They're not the only ones.
Nope.
Everybody else like, you see what Ohio State's doing? Yep. We can find 7-8 million, can't we? How many 5-stars they got down there that we're allowed to talk to for 30 days? 100 5-stars. Say, yep, we'll go down there. And then Kalen DeBoer's like, I'm already recruiting.
You sure he's coming on Wednesday?
What the fuck is going on?
I'm a good coach, too.
Now, depending upon what happens in Michigan, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah.
You would think there would be a 30-day
for them.
period there.
Washington's getting cleaned out, too.
This is the new thing. This is the new.
Is that why you have to, or not have to, but is that why you probably lean to in-house? So at least the team knows who the guy is, and it's not someone from the outside?
I think we're learning about, like, in real time, potential fallouts. Now, obviously, everybody wants to play for Nick Saban.
Right.
But also, even the people that weren't even thinking about transferring potentially get a knock on their door. Hey, what are you getting paid here? $250,000. Sweet. We got $1.5 million for you.
Okay.
Well, I didn't really think about it until now. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm allowed to? Yeah, this doesn't even count because your coach is fired. All right,
fuck it.
If I hate it, I'll just go somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a hard decision not to make, And it's like,
yeah, I'd say
Washington, same thing. Michigan, same thing. Any of these coaching spots that open up, it's like all of a sudden it's all systems go, all phone lines open. That's going to be a ripple effect as the years go on under these coaching cycles and the coaching changes.
Like Oklahoma, when Lincoln Riley left.
Yeah, they
lost a bunch of people too.
And it wasn't even at this point that it is now.
No,
it was with the amount of collected money, like this school.
Of course.
Caleb Downs, like best football player in the country.
Yeah.
Just coming right up to Ohio State. What's he going to do? Whatever the fuck he wants at Ohio State.
Yeah, the freshman quarterback who was like the number 3 player in the nation, number 1 quarterback. He already enrolled in classes at Alabama. Fuck it, see ya. I'll be in spring ball at Ohio State. Like,
are they the favorites right now? O State?
No, Georgia's
still the favorite.
And
nobody's
Georgia.
leaving Georgia. Nobody's leaving Georgia.
That one kid, the kid who did commit it, and he's going to Nebraska now.
He wasn't there.
Raiola?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Raiola.
I don't think there's a lot of dogs leaving Kirby's operation.
No.
You got to cherish it. You find your.
Yeah, once you get it,
you got to keep that for a long time.
What about Florida State?
Norvell was signed back.
Yeah, and they're
no transfers though.
6 years, I think they didn't give him a 6 year
Yeah,
deal.
he got an extension, but that was before
they had a
the
great recruiting
sanctions,
class
right?
and stuff.
$75 million.
Is that pre-sanction?
Them getting sanctioned, like have they not been?
No, I agree. It's
No, we all agree.
Yeah.
But it's like they've been through it enough. I think let them. We can let this one pass. You know,
Didn't Signetti getting a bunch of portal guys to Indiana?
Oh yeah. You should see it.
Guys who hate Ohio State, Purdue, mostly. But
imagine Caleb Downs lining up against whatever fucking quarterback plays for Iowa. Caleb Downs.
Cade McNamara.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because you know who did transfer? Caden Proctor, the fucking man. He's coming back home, baby. That's right.
Tackle?
Yeah.
He's from Iowa?
Yeah, he is. Committed to Iowa and then flipped and went to Alabama. And the Swarm, the collective, they raised about $1 million when he said, like, hey, I'm thinking about, and boom, he's back home, already enrolled. He was at the basketball game on Saturday. We're gonna be running on his fucking left butt cheek so it doesn't matter.
Run the damn ball left.
Exactly.
Caleb Downs will get down in the box and make some tackles, but imagine him line up against Indiana quarterback.
That'll be interesting.
Something like that. Caleb might have an interception every single play where the ball is thrown. With the way they talk about him in the Big Ten. When it's thrown. Yeah, if it's thrown.
The entire Ohio State defense coming back.
Yeah, they're going to be a good football team.
They're going to win it all.
They're going to be good.
AJ, congrats. You had to sit through Michigan's
I'll
dominance.
tell you what. No, I was impressed with Michigan's dominance, but yeah, like now people say, here we go, look at this. Here we go. We got everybody. I'm like, yeah, you still got to win every single game and beat Michigan. So yeah.
Well,
Ryan Day.
12-team playoff.
Yeah, don't have to win every game.
12 teams, you're right, but you got to beat Michigan and make a big run in the playoffs.
Gonna have to
and win
beat
it all.
Michigan, I think.
I do feel bad for Ryan Day because everyone say, hey, it's over. You're going to win the national championship now. And
It got even worse.
He thought it was bad the last 2 years, and they don't do it this year. Jesus.
For those that don't know, the Ohio State Buckeyes have lost 3 straight times to Michigan Wolverines.
Oh!
Michigan Wolverines, obviously the reigning national champions.
Uh-huh.
And now, turnover potentially happening at least in one aspect on the team side for Michigan Wolverines, maybe the coaching side as well. And then this Ohio State Buckeyes team, best roster they've ever had.
By far. Best roster possibly ever in the history of college football.
So Ryan Day was there for 3 straight to Michigan, and now has the best. What else do you fucking need? That's what Ohio people are saying to Ryan Day.
Especially with Stroud right now just ripping it up. You couldn't win a natty with this guy?
Although I guess
Marvin?
This year, like, he could. You can lose to Michigan and still get in the playoffs. So maybe he's, with it going up to 12 teams, maybe that's a little bit of a buffer where it's be all right.
No, I tweeted out that I picked Ohio State, or I put a bet in yesterday for Ohio State to win the national championship, and every reply was, do you know Ryan Day is still a head football coach?
Okay, so we're not all believers yet. This guy just made this all happen for his team, though. It seems like this is a Ryan Day plus, a benefit, a positive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he took control over a lot, or was like heavily involved in everything. I don't know how it all works.
Bill O'Brien.
We saw him at that steak place.
Oh, yeah. Billy O.
We didn't see him personally, but we had source says in the steak place in Manhattan the night Bill O'Brien was announced as the offense coordinator. Ryan Day not enjoying the dinner at all.
No.
2 hours on his phone, wheeling and dealing, making things happen. Can't lose to Michigan again, he said.
Yeah, well, now we know. I mean, it takes a long time to call 100 guys that live in Alabama all at one dinner. I mean, he should be on the phone for 8 hours, it sounds like.
Kalen DeBoer now just has to rebuild his Now, there's still going to be 55 stars.
Yeah, still Bama.
People forget about that. There's still going to be 55 stars down there. But it's almost like he's going to have to build it. We'll talk to him on Wednesday.
Almost a great spot for him. Like versus the Ryan Day, where they have everything for Kalen DeBoer. It's like, yeah, hey, I'm the head coach at Bama, but everybody left. Like you got to give me a year. Or
Their
something.
fans.
I know that.
They'll go 8-4. This guy fucking sucks. Come on,
Follow Nick Saban.
get him out. I mean, he has to go undefeated. He has to.
Who's that guy? Who's the guy that only cares about two things?
Willie, the guy who doesn't have the shoes, the old guy. Yeah,
You think he's okay with Kalen DeBoer coming in and losing 3 games?
I don't think so.
Give the guy some time, please. Like MCDC needed up there in Detroit.
Bingo.
Well,
give the guy some time.
Detroit and Bama. A little bit different history when it goes to football.
Expectations.
But I agree. They should give him time.
Give him a little bit of time.
He's a great coach. Look what he did in Washington. 1 bad year. And then what they do.
He had 3 wide receivers averaging over 100 yards a game. Now that he's in like SEC country, I assume that offense where he brings Grubb down, they've been together since, I think, Sioux Falls. They've been together a long time. It's like they're going to be electrifying on offense. I assume they have enough. I think I saw a couple guys say, I'm staying at Bama. Bama's my home or whatever.
Milrow.
And they got enough 5 stars. I think they're going to be good.
Absolutely.
But boy, the headlines are not good right now.
No.
It's the over.
Yeah.
Is what a lot of people are saying
Yeah.
about Alabama. We'll talk to him on Wednesday. I'm excited to hear what he said. I'm excited to hear how he's viewing it.
I wonder when this will all get normal. Like at a certain point in the offseason of college football, we'll just be like, oh yeah, guys are leaving. It's not a big deal, and we'll just keep it moving.
So what's going to happen is probably Nick Saban's going to become a commissioner of some sort, and there's just going to be a time frame for everything to be done.
Yeah.
There's going to be free agency here. There's going to be transfer portal enter here. There's going to be signing days here. Like, it's just going to become more regulated. You know, that's going to be, which it needs to be.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be some sort of cap put in place or realistic expectations for not only the teams to spend, but the players to understand their actual value too and what they should be getting paid. Because I think there's a lot of inflated numbers potentially on the internet. Agents are all trying to float those numbers up. Obviously, that gives them more leverage when they're going other places. What's real, what isn't, all that stuff is still to be figured out. I'm happy as hell we don't got to figure it out.
Nope.
That sounds like a lot of bullshit work that I don't want to do. Nobody wants to do.
Exactly.
Saban will get it done.
He has to. It's different. We don't want to. He has to.
You know him better than I do, but I think Saban gonna be down in Jupiter playing golf. 72 years old.
Living.
He gave college football enough.
He did.
He ain't ever doing that.
One last gift would be to figure it all the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to Washington, D.C., figure out all 50 states' laws and how they all kind of abide by the
Feels
rules. Because remember, at one point during this NIL, some states were able to do it, some states weren't.
Yeah.
Like Texas and Ohio had 2 different rules. That's why Quinn Ewers dropped out of high school to go up to Ohio State to get $1 million. Now he's back at Texas. Now he's old enough to potentially get paid. California had different rules, obviously, than West Virginia. So West Virginia was getting screwed in this entire thing. That's why we don't have a national championship at this point.
Well, basketball.
Yeah.
Look out.
Just beat Kansas.
No big deal.
Josh Eiler.
Huggy Bear back.
No, Josh Eiler is the head basketball coach of the West Virginia.
Congrats on the win, though. That was a big win. I saw that.
Bill Self don't like going to Morgantown. It's a tough place to play, tough barn. Coliseum's no joke. Yeah, basketball team probably going to win a national championship. That's sweet. Soccer team almost won a national championship. That's awesome.
Almost.
And people are talking about Caleb Downs. It was either West Virginia or Ohio State.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's get to a break.
He's a Neil Brown guy.
That's what he said. That's what I heard. That's what
I heard that.
Look at this guy. Just
I
rolling.
read that.
So
somewhere.
happy.
It's his money that they're using.
Yeah.
Speaking of college basketball, did you see Caitlin Clark almost get killed on the court?
Oh, is that?
Yeah,
how
what's
you
going
saw
on
it?
in Ohio?
Fan.
Man,
What's the
I
deal?
don't know.
Huh?
My daughter was there. I think I put it. I'm glad it wasn't my daughter running on the court with no awareness. I'm glad it was a college student looking.
Glad she's safe.
Me too. I'm happy she's okay. And by the way, just like these NBA guys all have their own individual security guards, I think we all have seen the Caitlin Clark effect on the ratings and the money and how much tickets are and everything. Can we not get a fucking somebody surrounding Caitlin Clark when maybe a bunch of Ohioans are in charge? That's the last place on earth you'd want to be. A bunch of Ohio people running in celebration of your whoever it is. I mean, that's the last place on earth. Ohio is where you want to stare down a court charging. And Caitlin Clark almost got taken out. I don't like it at one bit. Why isn't Iowa taking care of her?
Oh, they do, but you know what are you going to do when a student, I was a fucking hired assassin, okay? Yeah, really? 480-pound freshman female comes in and tries to fucking take the top half of her body off. Oh, and she also scored 45 points and played the whole fucking game. And if she doesn't score, they don't win. So she's a little exhausted, but it was a hired assassin, okay? It wasn't a student.
Did she get a technical?
Who?
Caitlin Clark for that flop.
Whoa!
Is that after the game, dickhead? Whoa. So no, she wasn't assessed a technical.
What about the alternate angle, huh? We got that one?
I mean, there should be 5 Hawks circling her at all times.
Yeah, why don't we have security around her? Here is the video. We don't have it, I guess.
Well, I can talk you through it. Basically, that lady beelines for Caitlin Clark.
Now, she does have her phone.
Her.
She is selfie. She's an influencer. I can tell that her TikTokers probably love the video. Caitlin Clark's trying to get out of the way.
Where's she looking? Why isn't Caitlin Clark got her head
I think
up?
she's looking up at like, whoa, where are all these people coming? Oh, why is a human just running?
Exactly.
There's an alternate angle where.
Right, she's.
Caitlin Clark's so focused on getting in the locker room. Wait a second.
Oh.
Wait a second.
Hey, Caitlin Clark got hurt here?
Wait for the.
No, she lost her breath, she said, for a second.
They knocked the wind out of her, right?
Oh, well, she killed
There's
that
a cop.
girl.
The cop's like 3 steps behind. That's the problem.
What a hit.
What's this guy do? I mean, she puts her elbow right into her solar plexus. What do you want her to do?
Yeah, Caitlin did.
I mean,
That girl blow a knee out? She got laid out.
Man, that girl just bounces right back up, by the way.
Yeah, she was fine.
Congrats to the Ohio, of course.
Yeah.
The most Ohio thing of all time. Gets blindsided by Caitlin Clark. Back up, looks, kind of mixing with the crowd.
Yeah, whatever.
That was Caitlin Clark. That was.
I just fucked her up.
Oh my God. She probably thought she was in so much shit there.
Yeah.
I should not be running into Caitlin Clark.
Kicked out of school.
She was probably so scared there. Caitlin Clark, happy you're okay. Same with the girl. You guys lost 2 games now.
Yeah, boo-hoo.
18-2, Iowa.
Still going to win the Big Ten championship. Still going to go to the Final Four. Really, I mean, Caitlin Clark needs to break the all-time points record. That's kind of what I'm zoned. A national championship would be great, but
We like individual awards, huh? That's great.
for her, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
What the hell's going on in Iowa?
Because guess what? If she doesn't play, they're fucking 2-18. So
She's phenomenal.
she's unbelievable.
Filthy.
She's so good at the basketball.
Might be here
She's
next
coming
year.
here.
Yeah, she's going to be a fever player. How many points away is she from the record?
Like 200.
Oh, that's happening this season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome to the Indiana Fever.
Can't wait.
Hey, you're going to love the city. We'll make sure nobody's running into you.
Never.
That's what we make sure we do around here.
Yeah. And we ball.
Yeah. Look at her. I mean, look at her.
How about that?
Look, this is our studio, isn't it? You know why? Because Indiana loves basketball, Caitlin.
State of basketball.
Bruce could be 24/7 security guard.
Hell yeah.
Well, I think we need to.
We have some breaking news coming out of Detroit.
Oh no.
Evan Fox is on the local news up there celebrating the Lions. What? Where is he? Fast forward. Oh! Foxy's on Fox 17.
Whoa!
Yeah! What does he say? What does he say? Let's go back to that. Kids eating dubs.
Went on for 15 minutes straight.
Brand new Lions, let's go.
That baby Foxy. I like that. Baby Foxy. Foxy on the local news.
Had to do it. Had to do it. I see the camera. I
Middle
run up.
fingers flying. All right, respect.
Fox News Foxy.
Don't even know if it's on, and then I yell it. Camera guy goes, "Oh no way!" He goes, "I love your show, man."
Oh, that's really cool. You look good, Foxy. You don't look too obliterated either, which is
Boy, second network he's ever been on after OAN.
If this is me, it's Fox 17, not Fox News, but I understand what you are referring to. If this was me here, all anybody would say about my eyes and how fucked up I look. Instead, Foxy looks like he's modeling fresh out of the game. Way to go, Fox. What a weekend for you.
I'm so happy they got that.
One saw the Pistons lose.
Yeah,
of course. One
almost won.
One saw the Lions win.
Yep.
Got on the local news.
Yep.
Boy, done good.
Yeah, it was a good weekend, man. And quick shout out, Brian Burkheiser. He hooked it up with the sideline stuff. It was the coolest thing out when we were out there when the players were announced right by the tunnel. It was really fucking cool.
Lead singer for
I Prevail,
which is he's got pipes too.
He was such a good dude, man. It was a really good experience.
Handsome kid, got
Yep.
pipes.
Mhm.
Obviously took care of Foxy in a big way. Did you see in the Bills-Chiefs game they introduced the Bills defense, had Josh Allen out slapping hands?
I didn't see that.
Did you see that?
I did not see that. No.
So, we got the light show going on with the intros, and they're showing Josh Allen, and he's in a line giving a left hand. And I'm like,
that's interesting because it's going to be the last home game because obviously Baltimore's hosting. So
and they did the defense.
Lions did defense as well.
Maybe they rotate.
Lions knew they were.
Last week they did offense, I guess, but they didn't do Hutch last. That was my only thing I was surprised
they
about.
did not do Hutch last?
No, I couldn't
Who was
believe
it, Anzalone?
it. Honestly, I think it was Anzalone.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What?
Why?
Because he's the leader of the defense.
Because his name's fucking Anzalone.
The blonde bombshell, D-Butt. Come on.
You got to have a hometown kid.
Yes.
I agree. I agree.
Too big.
You got to earn it.
We all agree. Did Eminem and the boys, the showman, Jack White and all them are saying, don't put Hutch last? What the hell's going on?
I don't know, but they did show Eminem on the screen up in his suite. That place got so loud for him. It was awesome.
Still got the pop. Hey, way to go, Eminem.
Big time.
We did miss out on Eminem coming out, boom, 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 leading the way. Straight into ball with the ball, the bang, the dang, diggy, diggy, straight into boom, 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 boom. They could have been standing in different spots on different stages.
With the crooner.
Was Kid there?
Yeah, with Tim
With
Robinson.
the crooner going around the field in a little golf cart.
Yeah.
They could have been introduced as the Detroit Lions, too, not offense or defense.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that is always the great.
That's a Super Bowl move.
Yeah, but what if they did it through the
Patriot way?
Connor was hoping that the Colts did it against the Texans, because it inevitably for the AFC South, even though we did not know at the time it was for the AFC South, but we did know it was for a playoff spot. We're like, oh, is it going to be offense or going to be defense? Connor was like, better be the whole team.
And they said that.
It's a must-win game. If they would have came out, American flag, blew on a motorcycle.
Your Indianapolis Colts. And all of them run out. That's scene. Buckner.
Does Blue ride a motorcycle out? Really?
No, some white does. It's for I think it's Lucas Oil. I think Lucas Oil motorcycle.
Sure.
It's a nice bike, got a little sidecar.
Horsepower.
I don't know if that's the horsepower because
it's loud.
It does got pretty good pipes on that thing. Nice old Harley.
Yeah, when you hear it in the tunnel, it goes.
Let's get to a break. On the other side, we're going to cover everything we haven't around the NFL. There's a lot of news. Antonio Pierce has been hired by the Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to react to that. Matt Patricia out at the Philadelphia Eagles, seemingly back on the road again in a brand new fitter body.
Oh, yeah. He's yoked.
Brand new fitter body with a good beard. And, obviously got to chit-chat about what's popping off around the NFL. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're in this thing together. Take 5!
If you're the NCAA and you're sitting in that stupid office in Indianapolis where we happen to live, it's a great city. It's a great town. And there's a dumb institution that is ruling over college football. Because if you don't want these people dancing... Celebration, bitches!
What's up? Is that the president's name?
Oh, that's Kurt Signatic.
Do we like the NCAA? Do we like Pat? Do we love the Dukes? I wish when I was asked, like, why did you punt? I could say my subcommittee recommended I punt. Talk your shit. This guy's hot.
We'll see you in the next hour. I say today, we take a stand against the NCAA. Let them bull. Let them bull. Amen. Rest in peace, Dale. Moment of silence for Dale Earnhardt. Moment has passed. Thank you, Dale. This one's for 3. AJ Hawk, $5,000. This has been one of the coolest moments of my entire professional life. JMU! Thank you so much for the hospitality. JMU! You understand quickly that there's idiots making decisions in every single place that you would never guess idiots would be making decisions. You don't think bowl season deserves to have this situation cooking behind it? College football's better because JMU's football is crushing. College is better because what their football team is doing. The community is better. And the NCAA, yet again, adds to their long list of decisions. Look at that scene, bro, in the hills of Virginia. You know what? To hell with all of them. James Madison, right here. Right here.
And that chef looks damn good. I'd eat that guy's meat any day of the week.
If you're able to bury this 33-yard field goal, kicking is easy is what you have said to kickers before. Others have on the internet. Now, 90 racks on the line. We believe. Oh! Kill the kid! Kill the kid! Our worst kid yet! 100 racks of charity. This dog stinks!
And that's not the JMU. Are going to crush App State? They would crush anybody this weekend, especially in this city with how dumb the NCAA is. Let them bowl and let the boys dominate today.
In my Constitution, I have the First Amendment right to free speech. Pat has the Second Amendment right to take its sleeves off and show the bare arms all the time. But I'm saying, if we are so lucky to go undefeated this year, and we end up winning in a bowl game, if we get in, I'm going to use my First Amendment to declare the JMU Dukes national champions. Like UCF. I'm just going to say it. And come and stop me. Time to coach.
Jack, it's working. All of it's working.
They'll have one loss because App State is beating JMU Mountaineers, baby. They're gonna dog shit all over this dumb place. App State forever. Yeah, fuck you too. How about that?
Hey, look it. Weeman's so active. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Sammy Zayn. Weeman used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me? Now he's body slamming Sammy Zayn.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Sport.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, January 22nd, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now.
Football
is glorious. That is AJ Hawk. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. This day in history, an awesome one.
On this day in history, this is incredible.
Yes.
It just came through the wire as we were getting back on here. A man who goes by the name of Guy Fieri was born today, about 68 years ago.
Whoa. I don't know how long Flavortown's been around, but the mayor of it was born on this day. Happy birthday, Guy Fieri.
Love you, Guy Fieri.
Happy birthday, Guy.
What's his last name?
Guy Fieri.
Yep. I don't know if you're doing it right.
That's how you say it in some places.
I think it's like a D.
Yeah, Fieri.
Like French. Fieri.
No, he's Italian.
Yeah. He's a little French, too.
He's one of those white hair Italians.
Guy is a French name.
Bingo.
What's his
Guy
birth name?
Fawkes.
You think it was Guy?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's boy. And he grew into Guy.
Wouldn't it be Guy?
There we go. Yep, there we go.
It was lad.
Yep.
Then it was boy.
Yep.
Then it was man.
Good boy.
And then it became Guy.
Yeah, final form.
Happy birthday, Guy.
Love you, Guy.
Happy birthday, Guy.
We also missed R-Truth's birthday the other day. Happy birthday to R-Truth.
Ronald? Where's he at?
He's in Judgment Day.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're running Raw, too. Raw R-Truth. Happy birthday to him. One half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here wearing a phenomenal ranching shirt and cowboy hat.
Sure.
10-0-1 against the spread on the road as dogs since 2017 are the Kansas City Chiefs. Is that what I heard in the playoffs?
Bingo. You are correct there. And Mahomes is 9-1-1 as a dog in his career.
Yeah, he's not a dog often.
No.
Because he's Patrick Mahomes. But when he is, normally he says, "Oh, is that right?" And did it once again this past weekend in Buffalo. Going into Baltimore, they are the dogs.
I am so excited for that game, just like I was last night, because it's good on good. Like that one, you know, is not that the other one isn't, but it just, especially with Jim and Tony on the call, you know.
So going into last night's game, there was 4 NFL games left on the season, not counting the Pro Bowl games.
Sure,
correct.
Which don't count. By the way,
that's how it was being broadcasted. Is they didn't count, but let's say they don't count for the sake of this particular stat.
Okay,
4 games left. Tony and Jim on 3 of the calls.
Wow,
that was going into last night.
We are so lucky.
I know.
Tony had some shit yesterday. He said about being at his house in front of 70,000 people that didn't make a lot of sense, but he took a shot at it.
Yeah, he did.
We like that he's in there wheeling and dealing.
But there's 0, Jim.
Yeah, there's 40 million people watching him.
Yep.
And he's just doing his thing. I have nothing but massive respect for Tony and Jim.
Tony is the best. I also love how often he tries to bring Gene in. Just whenever he doesn't know what to say. Oh, I don't know, Gene. Gene, you want to take a crack at it, Gene?
There will be a very clear thing that any player or fan or commentator would know the answer, and they do get Gene in there. And I respect that.
So do I.
The more Gene, the better.
I agree.
In all of our eyes. But I think he gets it right. And Gene's doing it in real time, too. He doesn't have access to shots that the TV doesn't have. So literally, Gene's giving a full take, and then he sees a new... Now, with that particular angle, I would say that there certainly means to potentially overturn it. He's the best. That's why the game has missed him.
Bingo.
But we do believe that the refs have done fantastic thus
so.
far
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
Keep it going, Red.
9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler is here. D-Butch, you know, every Monday of the NFL season, we put out a bird call on the artist formerly known as Twitter, X. And we say, hey, why don't you go ahead and overreact for one particular post? You won't be judged, actually.
Never.
No, you'll actually be celebrated. It's like a therapy session.
Love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for hashtag I don't want to overreact. But Ty Schmidt went through these. Number 3 overall trend this morning. Thank you to all who participated. Didn't know if Overreaction Monday still had the juice because there's only 4 teams left, but there's a lot to overreact to. Ty, you went through them. How were they?
They're pretty good. A lot of people... On days like today, there's a lot of people either bitching or there's people who are kind of taking a backseat and hey, they're just very grateful and happy for the season that was had.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, it was nice.
Maybe a more pragmatic overreaction Monday.
You could say that. And then there's still, that kind of sect of people who just don't fucking understand how overreaction Monday works. So we get a lot of those as well.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the whole point is to overreact. Okay, so saying like, the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl. Like, that's not much of an overreaction.
Kinda.
Okay, they're very good. So, like, if you came in and basically said, like, hey, the Ravens should have won by 50. Harbaugh sucks. Fire his ass. That's an overreaction.
Oh, so you're kind of... I guess we're kind of searching.
Does it have to be negative? Do you have to have a negative
angle
to it?
It doesn't have to be, but it's easier to find the good ones when they are negative.
Seems like the eye of the beholder here is Ty Schmidt. He's looking for a little chaos.
Exactly.
Especially after a Packers loss.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay. I hear a little Pete Thamel.
Yeah, a little bit.
You could argue that's the way I lean on certain Mondays. Yes.
Kind of got an eye for the negative,
yeah,
huh?
Exactly. Maybe want some heads to roll, some guys to get fired, if you will. So yeah, I did lean that way a little bit.
Buckeye Ty Pete, you got to be pumped about what Ohio State's doing.
Oh yeah, are they still calling me Greasy Pete? I don't think so. Okay, Buckeyes are all the way back.
Did Pete and Bruce make up? Did they ever communicate?
No, that is the new Ohio State-Michigan rivalry.
He's breaking everything. We know who Ryan Day was calling from the steakhouse.
All right. Jeez. There's
Bruce. Yeah, Bruce is incredibly upset about Ohio State being talked about right now.
Yeah, well, Bruce...
This is our time. This is our fucking time.
Yeah, Bruce said...
Yeah, he said that about 10 times today.
Yeah, well, he also said Michigan only got like 1 week. Not even. They got like 3 days. We don't even get to talk about it now. We're talking about Ohio State.
Coach leaves, and that's what happens.
It'll be back. Jim Harbaugh passing the torch doesn't necessarily mean a new coach, but it does mean new team. We shall see. Let's get to some overreaction, shall we? AJ Nardzlico, the Nard Dog, 69. He likes to have a good time. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but the Bills are officially the new Cowboys. Fire McDermott, release Diggs, and cut off Bass's leg. Whoa! The way the AFC is shaping up, the Bills likely won't make the playoffs for a few years. Same old Bills. is what AJ Nardzlico is asking. And Tyler Bass, that sucks. You have a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
Like a great year. And then all of a sudden, in gusty Buffalo, you got to hit a 40-some yarder, and that ball slices big time after it leaves your foot. And now everybody hates you. And this brings up old memories of old Bills fans from the wide right days back in the 90s, during the 4 falls in Buffalo or whatever that documentary was that reminded us all about the missed kicks. And I assume, and I'm not 100% sure, but Tyler Bass has an incredibly strong leg, has been a great kick. I think as soon as this ball leaves, I think he thinks it's in, hand up. And then that thing just slices completely on him. Could be the wind, could be how he hit it. Nonetheless, that man gets another big-time dub in the playoffs and is celebrating his life away. So I don't like that there's automatically a turn on Tyler Bass. That guy misses one kick.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of kicks, sucks for him. But you got to make those in a big-time game like that, obviously. And then everything else, they just can't get over the hump for whatever reason.
This overreaction was weird to me because I didn't see the national media calling for McDermott's head to roll today like they were calling for Big Mike's head last week. I don't see the difference.
What do you mean?
I mean the Big Mike 12-5, 3 straight years. Made it. They won. They won against the Bucs and then lost to the Niners. What, 3 times now? Or sorry, one was the Packers. McDermott, Bills, great during the regular season. They lose to the Chiefs 3 times. And what's the difference in the situation? How come we're not calling for McDermott's head, but Big Mike's head's got to roll?
Well, the Dallas Cowboys are obviously the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs, too. And then Dallas kind of got embarrassed at home.
Yeah, they had their pants
7th seed.
in Jerry World.
Just asking questions. I'm just asking questions.
Well, Sean McDermott, I think this particular guy's looking for his head to roll, but also Diggs. Diggs, there's some stats on Stephon Diggs.
What's his contract situation like?
It's not the worst,
like
but
$31 million or something.
Yeah, Josh, they have to restructure. That's their main one, but apparently that is very simple.
8 targets, only 21 yards for Stephon Diggs yesterday. Hasn't had a 100-yard game since October 15th for the Buffalo Bills. Now, there's been a lot of conversation about Diggs, Josh Allen. Diggs' brother gets involved, drama gets involved. They want to win. It ends like this. How will this offseason go for those two? We hope good.
Yeah.
We hope they, let's go shake their hands.
This one.
This ball is a 63-yard throw is what it was.
That's the one Dano broke down on his
absolute dime.
Did he? I didn't see Dano break it down, but
that'd have been tough.
You're just saying how it was such a great throw.
Yeah, it's a tough game.
Yeah.
But
he's getting bumped in the air.
That's why you get paid,
25, 26.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen Diggs make that catch, obviously, a ton of times. That is a tough catch. Unbelievable throw, too. Unbelievable throw.
Yeah, just 63 yards in the pocket. Yeah, Josh
15
Allen.
degrees.
Just don't tell Dano it was Josh Allen's fault, whatever you do.
Well, he's reading the same stats I'm reading from Hembo, dude. Remember, these Josh Allen stats
Play pretty good.
are absolutely absurd. Josh Allen has been eliminated by Did you hear this one? Josh Allen has been eliminated by Kansas City 3 times in the playoffs. He sent me like 6 of them. 6 Josh Allen stats. This one is the one. He's been eliminated by Kansas City 3 times in the playoffs, 2020, 2021, 2023. In those 3 playoff runs, 306 yards per game total offense for Josh Allen, 22 touchdowns, 1 turnover. So he's played pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's like Peyton and Tom back in the day, right? And then once Peyton got over the hump, then he got his ring. Like, hopefully for Josh, he doesn't have to wait any longer. But man, yeah, you run into a buzzsaw, man.
Now, to the point of the people that are saying you can't be losing at home, Josh eliminated at home in back-to-back seasons. Jim Kelly won 8-1 at home in his playoff career. Man, those Bills teams back in the day.
4 straight Super Bowls.
Weren't able to do it.
4 straight Super Bowl losses.
That's a hard.
That's man.
It is such a shame.
Because the Eagles were 4 straight NFC championships, right? Yeah. And then without a Super Bowl, but the 4 straight Super Bowl losses.
Bills can't even claim the in-season Super Bowl this year either.
Is it Dolphins fan?
What was the ins?
Just the past couple of years, we said, they were such a good team during the season. They were great.
You're saying
you can't even do that this year. So it is, in fact, Buffalo for the year. I hate to say it, but it is.
Losing at home.
Up there in Buffalo.
Yeah, it can't be.
They got a chance. As long as they got Josh Allen, they got a shot.
Bills had 7 more yards on the day, but needed 31 more plays to do it.
Jesus.
Oh, interesting.
First time in Josh. Go ahead.
Good to see Vaughn out there making some plays, though. Vaughn looks like he was finally a little bit healthy.
40 looked fast.
Played well.
Did he not have a knee brace on?
I don't
know.
Didn't know.
I don't think I saw it.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw a knee brace. I don't know. I hope not. They say that. And then Josh Allen's cap hit is jumping from $18.6 million this season to $47.1 million next year. Now, obviously, you just do a restructure of that, kick the can down the road. They'll be able
bonus.
to up some space.
Give him a bonus and pay him $890,000 salary. So if he gets suspended or something happens, he doesn't even lose any money. It's a great deal for him.
Yeah, here's $46 million as a signing bonus, and that'll be scattered over the last 5 years of your contract. And then your salary will be the lowest in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And then there you go. Congratulations. We did it again.
Yeah, they got to re-sign.
Bass will be Bass will be back too. Just got paid, so he will be back 100%.
Let's go, Bass.
They won't want him back.
Don't let your kids be kickers.
Never.
It's terrible.
Never.
Don't do it. They're Carlson, obviously, getting run out of Green Bay. Tyler Bass.
Yeah.
They're saying some mean stuff. Tyler Bass.
I mean, what you want to do if you're going to miss a lot of kicks is find those teams who are looking for a top quarterback. Because I'm telling you, Chad Ryland, no one missed more kicks than him, and he is a folk hero in New England right now.
And then you get guys like Justin Tucker just go out in 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts and drain 53-yarders right down the center.
They're so perfect when he kicks it. Like, they look they look different.
He's a fucking machine.
Yeah.
You don't think about it until
also all the times when like Crosby would like have like a bad game or something, and like you want to run him out of town, and then Saturday night happens, and it's like, oh my God, what I would do for Mason Crosby right
But
now.
think about having that guy on your team.
Yeah.
Like, he jogged out onto the field, and everybody in that stadium was like, it's going in. And you can see, by the way, he responded. That's a first quarter kick. Justin Tucker has hit every kick, playoff, end of game, Super Bowl. Like, he's been there. He was fucking pumped about that one, too. 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts across the field, not easy. And then Fairbairn answered one.
Yeah.
And he missed,
Yeah.
obviously, and Tucker would not.
Right.
That's the difference.
On the way it goes.
Between the entire thing. It's not easy being a kicker. Let's go to another overreaction, shall we? Sam Martin, by the way to get out there and battle.
Way to go, Sammy.
I mean, bad hammy with those wins in that cold, not the right place to or want to be. Here's from Braden at Next Gamma. Hashtag I don't want to overreact, but Patrick Mahomes is inevitable. This dude always finds his way to the dance no matter what is around him. He's got Swifty and Mrs. Mahomey hugging it out every play while Mahomes Sr. and Jason slam beers in the background. He will win more Super Bowls than Brady. That would be obviously absurd if he was able to accomplish that feat. He's only 28 years old, and the amount of playoff wins that he has is already near Brady and near everybody else. One last crazy number here from Albert Breer. Patrick Mahomes is now tied for 7th all time with 13 playoff wins. He has as many as Brett Favre, Roethlisberger, Roger Staubach, and more than Aaron. If he wins the Super Bowl, he'll be alone in third behind only Tom Brady and Joe Montana. He's only 28. He's only 28.
Nuts.
AJ. This team and this run has been absurd.
Yeah, it shows you. I mean, I think that's what the Bills, you see them lose that game, and they're thinking like, wow, it is such a long road to get back just to this point to see if we can find a way to get over the hump. And the Chiefs just continue to do it year after year, and they're always there knocking on the door. Like, sustained success is so difficult in the NFL. And the Chiefs and Andy Reid and Mahomes, man, so much credit.
Yeah, you got to keep the competitive juices flowing as well. Like, Patrick has to continue to want to get better, continue to build up the spike, continue to show up every single day. Even though he's already been paid, his resume is already clear for the Hall of Fame. He's only 28.
Mm-hmm.
Only 28. But his juice and want to continue to go is something that not a lot of people have. Like, that guy Brady right there, yeah, he had it. That guy Montana, yeah, he had it. And the fact that we're getting to witness another one live in front of us is a beautiful thing. But Lamar Jackson might be that guy as well.
Yeah,
sure.
And we don't even know. Like, all these teams could start their own dynasty right now. Like, the Baltimore Ravens, with the way that team's set up, Monken's not getting any head coaching looks, right?
None.
No.
So that offense only going to get better going into next year. McDonald, I think he's gotten a couple, but it doesn't sound like he's going to get hired anywhere. So that defense is going to go. If they were able to make a Super Bowl run here, next year we're assuming they're going to be back.
Oh, yeah.
Niners obviously have supposed to be, and they would count everything that has happened already into their dynasty in the end if they were ever able to win a Super Bowl. And then the brand new Lions are like one of the youngest teams in the league.
Yep.
And they're only continuing to build.
We're going to lose both coordinators. That'll be the biggest question mark of the offseason. We're assuming we'll lose both coordinators.
Aaron Glenn, I guess, schemed up the Bucs pretty good, too. AQ Shipley's going to break some stuff down.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Forcing the Bucs into a sift situation where the tackle has to stay in, leaving Aiden Hutchinson wide open, showing Anzalone on a 5-man front in an empty backfield. So then when Anzalone comes, tackle has to shade down because Anzalone, biggest threat, he would be the 6th man in the box, leaving Aiden Hutchinson free. Basically, they were just running that, I guess.
And normally he's double teamed. That was the biggest change of the last 5 games or so. That's why you see Hutch so much more making plays. That's huge.
Yeah, so I guess Aaron Glenn was just scheming them up.
Love it.
Genius.
Just fucking doing it.
Yeah, I hope they win this year because that coordinator thing does worry me, and that story feels the best. Like, if it's Lions-Ravens, I think everyone will be happy. If it's Niners-Chiefs, the internet is going to be so mad no matter who wins.
No, what about, it's red and purple, right?
Yeah.
The logo? Mm-hmm. Did you see this, AJ? The logo is Ravens-Niners.
There was also
Yeah, I know what Aaron said a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
There was also a local news report that said, like, tune in to watch the Ravens and Niners Super Bowl.
Yeah, I saw that on the internet, obviously, because Post Malone, Reba,
Yep.
somebody else is going to be performing as the Baltimore Ravens and 49ers playing Super Bowl, whatever number it is.
Yeah.
Boy.
That game.
All that takes is just one person in a local news report. Put that in teleprompter for news person who thought Lions didn't have a dome last week to read it, and then boom, scripts leaked.
Yeah, genius.
The 2 number 1 seeds are going to play. 2 number 1 seeds are going to play in Super Bowl. They already got the logo. They already got it. And it's like, you know what? I'm fucking in. Like, if it does end up being this, I think it's bullshit. And I want to know who knew, how they know, how did this news station get the answer before all of us? We're covering the league every single day. Somehow these particular group here got it before everybody else. There's a chance. There's a chance that's the case, AJ.
That's CTV News right there.
Who's that?
Canadian news channel.
Oh my God.
They sent it to Canada before us.
Oh, it's bullshit.
What?
What if they're right?
What's bullshit? Do you see the logo? It's purple and red.
Don't even believe in that.
What if they picked the 1 seeds to make the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Could happen.
Well, how'd they pick the logo color?
That's a different story.
Who picks the logo color?
That started here.
The same
right?
people
America.
that Travis was flashing that Illuminati sign to last night.
That was a heart.
Come on.
That was a heart for Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
Will Compton did
Yep,
do a
big
deep
guy.
dive into the logo. What the score at the time, how much touchdowns worth, obviously. The world's the best. Shout to the world. Way to go.
Good work, world.
Way to go, internet. I really do appreciate it. If you're using any internet, by the way, you should use Verizon.
Amen.
High-speed internet.
Good internet.
Fastest.
You can learn a lot of stuff on there quicker and faster than anybody else. Let's go to another overreaction, shall we? This is from Jared Schreiner. What up, Schreiner? Hashtag I don't want to overreact. But the 49ers are about to win the Super Bowl. They beat a really hot Packers team without Debo while giving up huge PI penalties and a long kick return. The rust is off. The rain is gone. And Purdy just proved he is the guy once again with that clutch drive. AJ, you agree?
I think this is a very real possibility, especially after Tone gave us the weather report. He said it's supposed to be about 68 and perfect for the championship game. Yeah, I think Purdy probably has a little more of a chip on his shoulder as well because he's hearing it. He's hearing people try to claim that he's not the guy.
Guy wasn't even allowed to be happy after winning the divisional round after a game-winning drive in the press conference because he had a couple bad quarters early.
It's ridiculous.
Let's guy live, D-Butt. Let's guy live.
Young quarterback, man. 2nd year back-to-back NFC championships. I'm excited to see what Purdy continues to become in this league.
Internet's killing him, though.
Killing him.
Killing him.
Makes no sense.
It's got no drip.
No girls.
On the second look, that bomber was
Pretty clean.
Pretty clean. Yeah.
And the boots, the jeans, the boots fit pretty good.
It's his swag.
I believe those were tailored, those particular jeans.
Oh. I don't doubt it.
How tall is Brock Purdy? Do we know?
I think he's like 6'1".
So amongst the people that are talking shit on the internet, he would stand over.
He's like 6'1", 215. He's still
Yeah.
He's still pretty, for normal people, like he's a big guy.
And especially in those boots, that gives you an extra inch or two. Them shit kickers make you taller.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good fit.
From Iowa? I think that's why.
No.
I think that's why.
I don't
people,
care. That's a good fit.
That's what we
don't
don't
they
want
like?
our quarterback dressing like Evan Foxy. I saw people tweeting that.
He needs a belt buckle on that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now,
will.
granted, he's probably actual cowboy, if I had to guess, from down there in Arizona in the desert.
Yeah, it could be.
He's gonna wait for the
Just
Super
a
Bowl.
little pizzazz. I think that's all anybody wants. Is just something.
He does on the field. You ever see him? He does fist bumps.
Absolutely. I think his swag in game is great. I think pre-game people just want to Just a little sliver of pizzazz.
NFL pregame has become a lot more fashion shit.
Odell looks sick.
Yeah.
I mean, fashion takes on many different avenues these days. You can kind of wear whatever you want, and it's fashion.
Yeah, but now it's like more promoted, I think, in the NFL. It used to be NBA thing, right? They actually made a mockery out of the NBA guys made a mockery out of the NBA's dress code for whenever they were traveling, which is why it became what it became there for a while, because we were allowed to do this, but we're not allowed to do this. It was kind of like, I think, a situation, if I remember hearing it all right. Now, like NFL, it's very normal. It'd be like, let's look at the fits. Let's check the fits. Guys showing up dressed awesome or ridiculous, depending upon how you view it. OBJ always going to show up in something.
Blue backpack.
Yes. Always going to show up in something. Full leather, obviously, outfit.
That cow on his chest.
Stephon Diggs is going to show up in something. You know, he's got Travis Kelce is going to show up in something. It's much more of a conversation now, I think, for the NFL than it had been in a while.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's a form of expression.
It is.
And I'm sure there's some brand deals out there as well. So,
Purdy puts it to rest if he just wears a fucking cowboy hat. Just start wearing a cowboy hat come in with a big ass cowboy hat on.
They're the greatest.
Yeah.
Love them.
The cowboy boot, cowboy hat combo, such a good thing that the Southerns had for a long time. I guess the farmers. Ohio people wear cowboy hats?
Certain parts of Ohio, yeah.
I don't think there's Pennsylvania farmers wearing cowboy.
No, more of the Pennsylvania Dutch hat in the middle of the state.
Yeah, they got the flat bill.
Also, good hat.
Good hat.
Got that.
No.
But the wind, the wind
knocks it off.
The cowboy hats are tough in the wind because you got a lot of space.
Boy, did they catch.
Yeah. How they ride those fucking horses then, huh?
I mean, those things, on people who have the horses, those things are so tight. You got a red mark on your forehead.
Really?
Is that why they're built like that?
Yeah.
Be aerodynamic?
Yeah, here we go.
So you're telling me as they're fucking
they're
riding that thing.
hat is
Here,
glued
give him
to the
Give him a hat. Give you a hat.
I mean, it does
Put a
fly
fan
off
on
a
you.
lot of time.
Tony?
Tony, can you toss me your cowboy hat? Oh, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to.
Give him your hat, Tone.
No, don't debut the guy's got phenomenal
But
hair.
either way.
But when they're doing that, because your head is up, so naturally it's like when you ride on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You can't really
How does Rip do it? How's Rip do it in Yellowstone? His never comes off.
I don't know, I guess you gotta kind of have like one of those.
Yeah, you got to put it
forward lean.
Yeah, like down. So it's pushing it.
Why's your arm up? Are you racing the horse? Is that why your arm's up like that?
I got a fucking lasso, you fucking idiot.
Oh,
You mean?
Dipshit.
Do you know how to ranch at all?
I thought you were whipping. I thought you were whipping the horse.
Never.
No, me and this horse got some shit to do right down the road here. So that's why I'm about to lasso, buddy. And then the horse.
Yep.
Tie that thing
Flies
to the
on his
saddle.
back legs, yeah.
I should have known. I should have known you were a cowboy.
Hey, you should have.
Talking
Watched
about
you do that
cowboy
out there.
hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a cowboy. Montana State Rodeo Team. I think we're national champs once
Member?
again. Let's go
Is that 7?
Montana State. Cougars?
Oh, I thought they were the Bobcats.
Bobcats.
Yeah.
Bobcats. Fuck.
Yeah.
Cougars.
Bobcat family. Cougar,
Yeah,
obviously.
that's on me. Montana State. I was so jacked up about the fucking horse I just got off.
Yeah.
That's all. Let's go to another overreaction, shall we, before I get kicked off my rodeo team? This is just Vegas.
Yep.
Vegas Bride Guy 414. Hashtag I don't want to overreact. But the Ravens are head and shoulders above any other team in football right now. They'll crush the Chefs, cruise to the Super Bowl, and easily beat whoever comes out of the NFC. They are dominant, AJ. This Ravens team is just dominant. I don't know. You don't know exactly how or why, but you look at the score and it's over. It's wild. It really is.
It's everybody. It's like a collection. I mean, Ricard, honestly, when you see him out there just bodying people all the time, he can catch passes out of the backfield. They have so many different weapons, but their MO is that they're physical. We heard Van Noy talk about it. Violence. They talk about it. When you watch their defense, it's true. Like, I'd want to put clips of their defense on to teach young kids, to teach high schoolers, hey, this is how you run to the ball. This is how you tackle with proper leverage. All of those things. Like, you can tell they are a well-coached team, and it's true though. Like, you have to be this all the time. Like Van Noy said, like, their practices were intense leading up to this. What are they, 20-some weeks into the season if you want to count camp and all of that stuff? So, yeah, you have to continue to work at it the whole year long.
A lot of shit talking, and he said, shout out to Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith, bringing back the Mike linebacker's name, basically, in all of football. He said, we're not putting it on the wall or anything, violence, or hurting anybody. It's a different era, but it's clear that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're a tough football team. Want everybody to know it.
Oh, yeah. Arriving to the ball and arriving pissed off. They putting a hat on. And even like between snaps, always in football, it's going to be some conversations from this and that. I think I remember someone early on maybe trying to say something to either Queen or Roquan, kind of in between. It's kind of like, get the fuck out of my face. Like, I love
Just dismissive. Just super dismissive.
Fuck out of here. Right? We in the middle of it right now. Fuck out my face. Sometimes you'll see a little back and forth. Oh, hey, whatever. Nah, it's none of that with this Ravens team. I love it.
Love it. Love everything about him. Harbaugh's got the boys buzzing.
Yeah.
And if Harbaugh goes national championship and Harbaugh goes Super Bowl, wow. Old Jack Harbaugh is going to be.
Yeah.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody. Follow up. Who's better than us? Nobody. He's talking about every single family ever in football.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Maybe at the
That's
top.
insane. Like, they already faced off in the Super Bowl. And now if they go in the same year, win a natty, and it's like, that's wow.
Same mindset mantras, too, seemingly, on both sides of the ball. Harbaugh's, whenever they're sitting down at dinner and Tom Crean's down at the end, you know, because he married
Kids
the
table.
He's down at the end. Yeah, we're talking football down here.
Yeah, shut up, Tom.
Thanks, Tom. As they cut their raw steak, I assume, with ketchup on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
They do. That's how football's supposed to be played. Physical, tough. Always has been, always will be, right? Yep. And Tom Crean's like, that's fine. What do you... Shut up. Thank you. Because you can tell that's how the Harbaughs feel.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Physical football team. We're going to be disciplined. We're going to be sound.
Tough.
Yeah, like that is. Think about
Watch them play.
Yeah.
Watch them play, and you can tell exactly how they're coached.
That's why they're back in it again. The 2012 when they're both in the Super Bowl, hard-nosed football was in right then. Now we're back to it. Okay.
Now hard-nosed football is coming back in.
Bingo.
So they're at the front of it almost. And I assume there were some years where people wondered, is this style of football going to win? Are you going to be able to win with what it is? And then the Harbaughs were at their dinner table at Thanksgiving like, gee, I got all those small guys playing defense. You know, you punch them right in the mouth. It's only a matter of time. And that's real. You have to be able to size up against the Harbaugh team, both in college and in the NFL on the defense side of the ball, because they're coming downhill at you. So if you got the 220-pound linebacker, 215-pound linebacker who's been running sideline to sideline, that's kind of what football has been. It's like now you got a 285-pound fullback in Ricard. You got Lindenbaum, the whole team moving. They're playing physical football. You got to be able to eat it. It's a transition. It's a full transition taking place in front of our eyes. And I think this is the next couple of years. Those teams that are physical are going to win, and those that are still, you know, kind of glitz and glamoury, going to have great regular seasons. Probably going to have put up highlights, put up big numbers, probably win some games. But whenever it matters, it's like you're going to have to be able to fist fight in an alley pretty much.
The Lions, I think the Lions and Niners are the same way. And then Pacheco, the way he runs, he almost tore his ACL yesterday just because that's how he runs.
Staying in bounds, that left foot. So hard, and that thing spins, and then he's still moving forward somehow. The amount of energy he puts in the ground,
it's absurd.
He should be taken off every single time, as if he was Iron Man.
Great game.
But they block well. That one right there.
Yeah.
They block well for him too. Like this Chiefs offensive line knows that they got a guy behind him.
Absolutely. I love how he runs. But kind of back to what we were saying about those Harbaughs, not only the physicality and even the teams left, but it's how sound they are in their scheme. So like we watched Michigan back-to-back weeks, like offensively coming out of the formation, shifting, motion. Like everybody's got to be on point with that. I can't remember off the top of my head like a pre-snap penalty for those guys. And then defensively, both the Michigan defense, Baltimore defense, scheme-wise, you can run all the fancy blitzes and all that shit you want, but if people are not on the same page, not communicating, not running the stunts correctly up front, it's not going to work. And it's always on. Like you rarely see the defense fuck up. It's like somebody makes a great play. All right, cool, we can live with that. They get paid too. We line up again. It's hard to beat teams like that.
Open field tackling too. Sound. We're talking about very, very sound. And I think that goes back to those intense practices they chatted about during that bye week. They were hitting, I assume, in that entire thing.
They make them. Don't you feel like when you're watching the Ravens defense, especially, like you got to go the hard way. Like it just seems so difficult to pick up a first down. Like, okay, we got one. Here we go. Now we got to reload it again and try to find a way to get another 10 yards because they're going to make you go the hard way. And when they get there, they're coming for the ball. Like you're right. Like attention to detail. I would imagine the thousands and thousands and thousands of reps these guys have had and walkthrough reps and everything.
Remember, there isn't enough practice time. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's not enough practice time. That's right. That's what you got to say if you get beat, right? Like, we don't get enough time with these guys. I'm like, no, whatever they're doing, they are maximizing their time to teach, like, the fundamentals and how they play, and everyone is bought in. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
Isn't it fun? It's like some teams go, well, we don't get enough time with these guys. And Baltimore's like, you do.
Yeah, plenty.
Lions, You do. Niners, you do. Andy Reid, never hear him bitch about anything ever. His team had to develop a different style this year because of the personnel that they had. They did. It's like the winners win.
Yep.
You're a
Figure
pro.
out a way to do it.
Hey, you're a pro. You know what I mean? Like the first thing Kyle said was, it's a players-led team. It get cold, weeks get long, year gets long. Like it takes extra effort for, all right, Fridays, after that fast Friday, we're going to go 15, 20 minutes in here and go over a 15, 20 play script. Like as those weeks get longer, it's hard to walk through, okay, what's the attention to detail? If you're not in, are you still getting those mental reps like you were getting in week 8? And it gets long and hard. It's tough. That's why, the guys that go longer, harder win.
And he said that's their motto.
What was that?
They want to be the guys that go longer and harder.
Yep. Amen.
Yeah.
And they're coming from all angles.
That's right. From behind you.
They're coming from all
y'all had a bad one. What was that, last week, Friday?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What happened?
Who are you guys?
Was it in the rap?
What do you mean?
What happened?
Who's you guys?
That coming
Coming
in your face, coming behind. That was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were coming from all angles. And they did.
They were, yeah.
They did come from all over.
Pause. I just want to pause you guys from that last week, too. That was bad.
Well, listen.
Good teams.
They all
Rap Sheet smoking with Rap Sheet smoking meat. Is he talking about that one?
No, he doesn't smoke meat anymore. Remember, he bops it.
Yep.
That's what he said, not me. It's been good to see old
He'll be
Rap
back.
Sheet.
He'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
Just down in his basement.
living.
Call him. Call Rap Sheet. What do you think Rap Sheet's doing?
There's got to be some guys that are getting close to being hired. Got to be.
Rap Sheet, tell us something.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like we can't do
What's
this. to
Vrabel
Schefter
doing?
and shit.
Where's Vrabes? Is Vrabes getting a job? Like Vrabes, he's not going to be a coordinator, is he?
It's been a couple of weeks or a couple of days now where we've been like, is Vrabel the one that's not going to get a spot here?
Chance.
And is he just going to golf, or is he going to go join that Ohio State crew and just be a consultant to be like, oh, you guys got more talent than NFL teams down here? Yeah, I'll come win a national championship, I guess.
Why not?
Would he be able to do that, you think?
I'm sure he could do whatever he wanted, but I don't know if it would be tough going from a head coach and then some guys don't want to go be coordinators and be consultants after that. They only want to be head coaches.
I can agree. I understand completely how that goes.
I don't know how he feels. I would like to know how he feels about that. Like,
why don't you ask?
If I'm a head coach, I would want to. I want to continue to be a head coach. I don't want to go be a coordinator again.
Just FaceTime Fred.
Why don't you ask him? Hey, ladies, join us now. Ladies and gentlemen, host of the weekly wrap of the Rap Sheet and Friends, SP and Friends, EB and Rap Sheet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rappaport.
Hey, Rap Sheet.
Hey, tell us something, dude. Is something going on? Is anything happening? Do we need to know anything else is happening today, or what do you think?
I would say the Raiders thing, I don't know if it's the GM thing. I don't know if it's going to happen today, but I would expect something soon.
What is it? What is it? What are we expecting there? Antonio Pierce, obviously head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Now a GM hire is happening. Who do we think it is?
So they have Champ Kelly, who's the interim. They have Ed Dodds, who's a respected personnel guy, assistant GM at the Colts, your team. And then Tom Telesco, a noted Pat McAfee enthusiast, is currently in the building with the Raiders right now. So they did around a second interview. I think still trying to figure it out, but I would expect either later today or tomorrow to get some Raiders news. My guess is that's kind of the next thing to drop.
Tom Telesco.
That'd be awesome.
Holy hell. In the division.
Yes.
Yeah.
Switching sides?
This seems like a potential intel gathering.
Yeah. That already.
Huh?
That's so like I actually thought that too, but then they brought him back for a second interview, and I was like, all right. And
elaborate on this.
We're assholes. We're assholes. Yeah. Harbaugh thought us. Yeah. Well, we forgot to ask.
Keep going on this.
We forgot to ask about this that happened to the Chargers. I love Tom Telesco. I very much do. If he gets hired, though, there will be a lot of people that will be pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
About him getting a job before somebody else, potentially. But that's the world. That's the NFL, I guess.
Well, and also, like, you have a first-time head coach, Antonio Pierce, who's 18 months into his not head coaching life, his total coaching life. It would help to have, like, a really
NFL coaching life.
Voice in the building at some place. You know, like, I like that. Whatever job it is, if he ends up going there, like, I like bringing in someone that experience.
Hell yeah, we love Tom Telesco here. Love to see that.
Tom.
Tom's the reason I went into the NFL, so I'm very appreciative of him. Ian, thank you so much, pal. Now, there was a conversation about you smoking. You don't smoke meats anymore, right? That's what you said on Friday?
Too cold outside?
I did not say that. That's a blatant mischaracterization of what I said.
So
he does everything with me.
Active meat smoker?
On the record, you would like to be known as...
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm one of the world's best known smokers.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Yeah.
One more time. Cut out. One more time.
Once you start smoking meat, you can't stop.
He's an influencer in smoking meats.
Oh yeah, one
Right?
of
Tailgate touchdown show.
the sins of the meat game.
Still mad at my son for blabbing that on your show. Thank you very much. No, actually, in my freezer
You
now, I
never
got a
break
lot of.
news.
In my freezer, I got a lot of good meats to smoke. It's just very cold outside, so it's not a great meat smoking situation. It's more of an indoor steak on the cast iron situation. That's kind of what's going on this time of year.
All right, smoke your meats outside. Live your life inside. We appreciate you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Ian Rappaport. Hope you're happy. Was it worth it?
I had to, but no.
Was it
wasn't
worth it?
No, it wasn't. But I
We
had
all
to.
knew that any sound we made cut out his thing.
I didn't know that until that moment.
Really?
Yeah, because I did the when you start smoking meats, you can never stop smoking, and nothing cut out.
Well, he wasn't talking.
I wasn't looking at him when I said it. When I said that, so I just figured, oh, there's no way that I can cut anybody out.
AJ tried to make him say it again. Say it again. Cut out when you said meat, man. We didn't get the clip. That's what AJ was thinking as he said it on the record.
It's all about it.
Guy does love smoking meats. He
does.
I respect it.
Just put a coat on if you like that. You can still do it. Oh, I thought that was it.
Ball flat.
I didn't think so.
Well, I can't.
We're in the middle of a little bit of an issue right now. So I've been doing a lot of arms,
Okay.
upper body.
Sure.
Trying to get in shape, trying to be healthy,
Sure.
trying to live longer for my daughter.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'd like to survive. Didn't think I was going to make it to 30 ever. And if you've seen the way I used to live, that would make sense. So now I'm 36, I'm getting old, and would like to see my daughter grow old. So I'm trying to get healthy, get in shape, and doing so. I'm like, all right, I'm lifting upper body. Lost my jumper.
I
not
saw you
good.
make
That
one
happens.
row over here the other day.
No, those are luck. That is not. There is not
I
a
don't
lot
think
of.
so. I think you just got to find a way to adjust it. Don't fall into that trap. That's the old basketball coach back in the day used to say that.
No, it's real though. I mean, it's pretty real.
Jordan put on like 20 pounds of muscle and became a better shooter.
Yeah, but I think me and Michael Jordan are a little bit different.
I don't know. Maybe not.
I think so. I'm wearing his shoes. I'm wearing his shoes for sure. You know, so I guess
You might be wearing yours.
I could be like, I don't have any. For mine. See, that's what I'm saying. You're ruining Michael Jordan's name
God damn
every
it.
time you say that type of stuff. Every time. All right, this one, 30 people, $500.
Okay.
To celebrate the start of championship week.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is a massive, monumental week for the NFL.
Huge.
Let's enjoy every single day.
Amen.
Oh, damn. Man, that was nice. That was good.
It was a high riser too.
Oh no.
Touch the sky.
Good rotation.
Great.
Grab another one.
rotation.
Grab another one.
That was
Yeah, but like that was supposed to be the one.
that was the one. Yeah.
That's the hardest part when you think it's in, which has been happening with the jumper over here. Because NBA All-Star game's coming to town. So I've been invited to play in the celebrity game. I'm like, I don't know if this is the first introduction to basketball world that I would like.
Sure.
With me not even knowing where the fuck.
Oh yeah.
What if they kept you in the whole game too? And you think how gassed you'd be playing a full court basketball game?
Jeez, pass it. Give me. I don't want it. All right.
Why isn't Pat going in for any rebounds? He's dead tired.
Jumper gets
Like,
so
that would be-
hard when you lose your legs.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
30 people.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
$500.
Come on.
This one's going in.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
Let's go.
Yes,
Come on
it is.
now.
Why
For
not?
championship week.
For football.
For football.
Yeah.
For the good of football.
What? Football.
For the good of
Chuck,
society.
look for
Yeah.
Chuck. He's losing weight. Chuck's
Football
2 pounds
weather.
down.
Bang.
Like Mike.
Oh my god.
Oh,
How's that not?
unlucky. Unlucky.
Not going. You know what I mean? You tried to be a little smartass about my fat corgi right before I shot.
Whoa.
And everybody
I
heard-
never called him fat. I
Oh
said he's
my
down 2
God.
pounds.
That's not real.
Plus, he's not fat.
Oh,
he's a
goodness.
load.
That can't be real,
Holy
is it?
smokes. Look at the girth on him.
Yeah, and the thing is, Val also weighs like 180 pounds.
Not true.
Oh, Wow.
This is a Siciliano
This is the
situation.
camera
How
trick.
much does Val weigh
Got
for
that
real?
Belichick upper body.
Val's
Yeah,
like a
he's
solid
always-
150. Chuck's sitting at a clean 3 bills right now.
That is a corgi, they tell us.
Is
no
Chuck
other
sitting
animal.
on a chicken?
No, he just ate one.
2, actually, probably. It's kind of.
Look at that upper torso of Chuck.
Hey, he's a dog, dude. Literally.
The head of Butterbean.
Hey, Chuck, this one's for you, pal, and you, Val. 30 people, $500 to celebrate Chuck losing weight.
Yep.
Val still doing it.
What?
And championship week.
Come on, for the dogs.
Good rotation.
Hell yeah.
For the dogs.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody that allows us to do this for a living. All you got to do is retweet this post, say something nice to somebody, and put the easiest way to pay you, 30 people, $500 to celebrate the start of championship week. You are the greatest people on earth. AJ, see you tomorrow. Boys, great work today.
Great work, Pat.
Great work today. See you guys tomorrow. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're all in this thing together.
Hell yeah.
We're all in this together. Goodbye.